Hello everybody and welcome to the RLBot Championship 2023. Today we're going to see the... Wait, why does it say hard-coded on the stream? We're going to see the hard-coded finals here finally playing out. We found our top 8 and today we're going to find our champion. My name is Eastvillage and I'm here with Malachi. Hello and welcome to the casting booth.
Hello, it's lovely to be here. I can see that it does say bracket machine learning underneath the image.
I just changed that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it change now. So yeah, that's always good. I was about to say you don't really want to. I mean, you could hype up these hard-coded bots as machine learning. Some of them they're pretty good, but I don't think they're on the same level as machine learning, and I think everyone else knows that. But it is looking to be some great matches tonight.
Yeah, I mean, fun fact: Goose have he hopes that one day hard-coded will be able to beat machine learning, or at least compete with them again. That's very optimistic, but I'm all for the dream. But yeah, let's talk a bit about this tournament here. Do you have any predictions about what's going to happen today?
Well, I mean, to start us fully out, I'll give the prediction for the upcoming match of Bumblebee versus Buddy. So I have some very scribbled notes here, and my notes basically boil down to Bumblebee is going to take this pretty safely against Buddy, but then I also have, to be fair, Bumblebee making it the entire way and winning tonight. So I think you're going to tell whenever Bumblebee plays, I'm probably predicting it to win.
Yeah, Bumblebee does seem to be a pretty good bet. If I remember correctly, our current champion is technically, for hard-coded, that would be Camille, and then with a second place that would be Bumblebee. So since Camille isn't here today, it's a strong bet. But I think there's going to be a pretty exciting fight, both for the fact that Bumblebee has to get it all the way there, but then on the second and third place, that's going to be very interesting. We have a lot of bots here with just the same skill level. RedBot, King, Duck, and as I just told you here before the stream started, Stardust has also been rewritten and is now using red utils. So we have 4 strong bots all using using the red utils.
I mean, to be fair, is this just Red trying his hardest to just take the position? It's like when everyone used Gosling utils back in the day, but now instead it's everyone using red utils. So, I mean, if a red bot, or I should say not a red bot because we've already got RedBot, but if a bot using red utils does really well here, I mean, technically, does that mean CodeRed's done well here?
I mean, he's definitely put in a lot of work in those utils, so it must be awesome finally seeing it paying off here, and so many people are adopting it. But let's not stall too much. We have a lot of matches ahead of us, so let's get into the matches. Starting out with a hot one, as you said, Bumblebee versus Buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I said beforehand, I don't think, I know Buddy is a pretty good bot here. It is 2v2, but I think the fact that it's 2v2 plays more into Bumblebee's hand than it does help Buddy stand more of a chance. I'm happy to be proven wrong here, but as we start out, it does just seem like Bumblebee being able to work together as they do are just going to take it more, especially with no one in defense from Buddy, and I think this is just a sign of things to come for Buddy here.
Yeah, that was a pretty open net that Buddy starts out with here. I think one of them was stuck on the boost pad waiting for it to spawn. The other one, I don't know what it was doing, but it wasn't where it was supposed to go.
It is it's the age-old problem with the bots that we have here, is that sometimes they just do whatever, but what is currently happening now is just a tragedy as Bumblebee 17 seconds in is 2-0 up, and I think this is going to be the first time we're going to have to mention it already, and that is going to be, what is the mercy rule here, East?
The mercy rule is going to be 10 goals. So if a bot has more than 10 goals, more than the other, then we're just going to call it mercy and let the bot win. Because otherwise we might end up with a match that is just too long. And I mean, 10 goals, that should be pretty convincing. Bumblebee now already has 3 goals in this match.
I mean, this is the perfect example of what you said, where if we don't stop it, it could take a while, because we are 30 seconds in with 3 goals, so that adds up to something like 15, 16 goals by the time the match is actually finished, and each one, give it what, let's say 10 seconds
Yeah,
for
10
the replay
seconds so far.
and restart. Yeah, it's just gonna take way too long if we just sit here and watch. But luckily for us now, at least, Bumblebee has stopped slamming nets or balls into the net, and instead it is Buddy's time to maybe get a bit of an attack going.
Yeah, Buddy did find a bit of control here, but now he seems to be passing it to a Bumblebee who moves up so fast on the field. So that's a 4th goal at exactly 4 minutes left.
I mean, yeah, there's not much that can really be said about this match aside from, I think this is an example of why I predicted Bumblebee, and I think a lot of people will have predicted Bumblebee to go in super far here, because quite frankly, it is, compared to some of the other bots here, just on another level as the 5th goal, halfway towards the mercy rule, and we are barely a minute into this match.
Yeah, and to be fair, this is also our 1st seed versus our 8th seed, so this is the match where we expect the biggest difference.
For sure, but I mean, I still, given a top 8, you wouldn't expect it to be such a stark difference, but at least Buddy managed to get a save there, and if it can maybe get a few more, it'll at least feel a bit fairer. But with shot after shot just pummeling onto this orange net right now, I don't think Buddy's going to be able to hold off another goal for more than 20 seconds here.
Yeah, but the thing about the big difference, it's something we've seen in other tournaments before. Making a good bot is just so hard that we only have a couple of them, and that means we quickly get it down to something that's just mid-tier. And I guess even now the best hard-coded bots are mid-tier when we look at machine learning, which just shows how far we come.
Definitely. I mean, you see the likes of Nexto and Sia, where I'm not saying they don't miss the net, but very rarely do they have an open net and not manage to score it. And I mean, we've seen a couple times this game, Bumblebee's had a wide open net and still managed to send the ball wide. And I think it is exactly that is the difference between hard-coded and machine learning, as another one sent just wide there. And I don't think a machine learning bot would have struggled with that shot, but in comparison,
yeah, that was
it
a tough
feels
angle.
like they are just generally on another level, which I think everyone already knows.
Yeah, I did do some show matches here Monday, as Bumblebee takes his 6th goal. I did do some show matches Monday, and we had the top hard-coded bot versus the lowest seeded machine learning bot, and that was still it was a kind of an even match almost, but the machine learning bot wins. So that just means the entire top 8 of the machine learning bracket is probably just going to roll all of our hard-coded bots.
And for the person asking why the bots so terrible, I wouldn't put them as terrible. They're definitely on the level of machine learning bots, but it is because they are completely written with, I was about to say completely written with code, but so are machine learning bots, but they are entirely just code. So they will just be, as a very, very simplified example, they are just if statements like if open net shoot kind of thing, whereas a machine learning bot that can learn on its own isn't necessarily just if on net shoot, it just does whatever, and the person training it just goes, yeah, that works, kind of thing. So it's never going to be, or not never, but very unlikely to ever be as high of a level of machine learning.
Yeah, so there has been a lot of manual effort put into these bots, and a lot of math and engineering, and we've come pretty far. Got pretty stuck when we got to machine learning, or not machine learning, sorry, team play, which is where then machine learning has started to really shine, because they can take they can take advantage of that a bit better.
Definitely, but we are 1 goal away from the mercy rule. It took slightly longer than I expected, I'll give him that, but it's still very, very likely to be the first match, hopefully the only match tonight that ends in a mercy rule. We will see as we get further in, but with a minute and 45 left on the clock, it's 9-0 for Bumblebee. I think even though we haven't hit the Mercy Rule deadline yet, which I think we may be about to, everyone knows the match is over anyway.
Yeah, but one of the reasons that the Mercy Rule is that high is just so everybody gets to play. We want to see Buddy here in the tournament. Even he made it this far, so even though he might lose this one pretty convincingly, then of course he's gonna have the opportunity to play. We want him here.
Definitely, and going off the bracket, it looks like Buddy down in the lower bracket will have to face whoever loses the next match on stream. So, I mean, we'll see how much of a chance he stands. I've got King winning this one. I know we like talking about the predictions. It feels like I'm just going with the seeding, which, I mean, it's a pretty easy thing to work off. But King being versus Filament here, I can't see Filament, no offense to the developer of Filament, but I just don't think Filament stands much of a chance against King, similar to how Buddy didn't stand a massive chance against Bumblebee here.
LJ Stein asked, why develop hard-coded bots if they're always going to be inferior to machine learning? Good question. It's because it's fun. It's a really hard challenge. You learn so much, both about AI and the math and the physics of Rocket League. So it's because it's a challenge for you, not necessarily because you're trying to make the best bot. But remember, machine learning bots also just they weren't really a thing 2 years ago because we didn't have RLGym. It was simply not possible to train a machine learning bot. It was so slow. So at that time it didn't look like machine learning was ever going to be a hard-coded bot. Now things are different. Now it's the other way around.
I was about to say, it's kind of like the same idea of why would you, let's say, train for a marathon if you're never going to win it, but it is the idea of you just want to do it, let's say. For people wanting to learn to code, it's a great way to start, or if you just want to see how far you can push it, with an example of Bumblebee here. It's just a case of yeah, just seeing what you can make rather than necessarily wanting to be the best.
Like the game is, again, I mean, I've gone quite...
Give me a second while I find some gambling for the addicted people out there.
I'll tell you what, hold on, I might be able to start one up for you.
That would be great.
Who will win? King... Filament. There we go. We'll give him 1 minute for it, and got it. There you go, everyone.
Robbie is here now. He missed the match. Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's fine, Robbie. You've made it just in time for the gambling. You've got a minute to make your predictions, everyone. I think my prediction's pretty clear here, but...
Hey, and this is also double elimination, so Buddy will have another chance in the lower bracket.
That is very true, but, I mean... It seems like chat's on my side. Someone's gone for 10 points on Filament. It seems like they're just going for the 1 to 240 odds that they have right now. But it seems like in terms of chat, 100% of the points, or give or take 100, now 99%, are in favor of King going. So it seems like I'm not alone in saying that I expect King to win this one. What do you think, East?
Yeah, I think Chad might be onto something. King has also been a very strong bot, made by CodeRed, who also made red utils, so probably the person who knows the utils the best. FillamentBot, though, I always been impressed by how good it is. There's some things that it does really well in terms of teamwork, but it never got the aerials. It always only used double jumps, which were a bit weird. I guess Lamp never got to that. But I know he's now working on a Filament 2.0. Though it's called something else, I don't remember what. Halogen, maybe?
I was about to say, it's the next tier up from Filament. What's that? I don't know in terms of lights.
That must be Halogen. So that was gonna be excited to look forward to and see how that develops. Anyway, we are now in the match, and King takes the first goal here with a I wouldn't call it a flick, more like a jump, and somehow gets past both of the Filament bots who are coming in from at the side here, trying to save their goal.
I'm not gonna lie. I said I would watch up on the VODs before we started. This is my first time ever seeing King play. I never got around to actually watching any of the matches that King played in, but it does seem like I have been missing out because so far King has been not as dominant as Bumblebee was, but still showing how good it is at the game, scoring 2 goals in 30 seconds already against FillamentBot. That one almost being a pull shot, but I mean, tell us a bit about the King here, because I know you mentioned a bit about Filament, but what do we got for King?
I don't know, man, what can I say? It's made by CodeRed, it's using red utils, and it's pretty strong. It was also updated, and CodeRed mentioned that it might actually be worse than the bot pack version, but hopefully better suited for a tournament. So, I don't know what that means, but so far he seems to be winning this match.
I think what it means is someone's been testing specifically against Bumblebee for the past while, I'm assuming, and so he thinks it's going to do better against Bumblebee, but probably doesn't do better against a lot of bots, but at least it's still doing better against Filament with, I mean, is it a hat-trick for a single bot, or has it been spread across all or both of the 2 bots on the field?
It has been spread, but
oh, there's a hat-trick!
There we go. Another fun fact I can give you about King is I just noticed that it keeps printing W's in chat, or in my console, not in chat. So it's clearly thinks it's winning.
I mean, it's yeah. I can't really say. If you're gonna score a goal, you might as well say W. It's always a happy moment when the ball goes in the net, but with a minute off the clock, it's 4-0 up. This might actually be a faster mercy rule than what we had from Bumblebee at this rate, but given Bumblebee slowed down partway through, there's an equal chance that King might just do the same. But with more time slowly going off, King, I don't think he's really let Filament out of its own half for this entire match so far.
Not really, no. He's been trying to make some clears. We just saw one good one with the double jump here, but still King just shoots it back immediately. And here we have the 5th goal as King takes off from the wall. And yeah, I don't think Filament saw that one coming at all. King 2 on the other hand, he went for it.
I mean, Lamp, by the way, you need to tell Filament they need to shoot in the blue net, not the orange net. At least when they're on the orange half. If they're on the blue half, they want to shoot in the orange net. But you need to make sure Filament knows to shoot in the right net, because right now it is shooting in the complete wrong net as another own goal goes in. What is going on here?
Ah man, but you definitely want to take that shot. You just don't want to hit it like that.
Do you want to talk about it, Luminous Lamp? Please just let us know if you want to talk about it, or should we just pretend like those 2 goals haven't happened and it's just King being incredibly good at the game?
I mean, Lamb did also vote for King to win. So,
oh, wait a minute.
So he can't be totally sad. Oh, I think King also just saved the goal for Filament here.
Does anyone know what's happening in this match? Because it seems like both bots are playing
nice
for the wrong
shot
team.
though. Oh, nice follow-up by King. 1.
I mean, what just happened there? Yeah, he popped it up, took a shot, hit the backboard, and the other one was there for the follow-up. That is, I think, the first proper 2-man play we've seen tonight so far, and it is an incredible shot to sneak in past the defense. And I mean, I don't want to say the match is over for Filament, because you never know with bots, but it's looking... wait, hold on. Filament might get an attack here. Oh, it doesn't matter.
We have some aggression. We are now on the blue half. Filament is putting on some pressure, trying to center it here for his teammate. King is actually helping him out. Filament 1 misses, that's 1. Now Filament 2 trying to center it, backs off, while Filament 1 is stuck in the goal. They finally get away from Red. Filament 2 is not done here, he takes another shot. King is up there to touch it, not really getting it clear. Maybe this one will be a clear. Yep, we're going to the orange half. Filament 2 has already returned, but it's not really the greatest defense I've seen.
And I mean, the important... Oh, that's a good shot. I was about to say the important note for Filament here. If Filament can score a single goal it will have performed slightly better than what we saw in Buddy versus Bumblebee. Granted, it's different bots entirely, but a single goal would at least mean it didn't get completely swept out. That being said, it isn't looking super likely because that one attack they had, it was good, but it wasn't good enough to beat the defense. And it's 8-0 right now, very likely to head to 9-0 as the ball very slowly rolls around there. Oh, that was an unlucky touch.
Yeah, Filament seems to be stuck on defense most of this match, not really able to clearing it downfield, and when it finally does, it's not fast and accurate enough to actually make a goal. So this is just gonna be a king win.
That's Luminous Lamp asking how long did the other game last? It was a very similar amount of time to this. I don't know the exact time, but what I will say is it ended with the exact same scoreline at the very least. So it's gonna look like a pretty good losers round one against Filament and Buddy. They both did pretty badly against their initial one. It was both expected that they did pretty badly. So now it is whether they can beat each other really down in the lower bracket in a bit. Let me sort out these predictions now while you sort out that. So I believe next up is Duck versus Stardust. Now this is the most question mark match out of all of them, from what I know, given you said Stardust has been completely rewritten here.
Yeah, so Stardust used to be a Gosling bot using Gosling utils, and it was made during the skill quest course. So it had some extra what's it called, routines that Flaming Fury had made himself. It also had some pretty good strategy. Now, after seeing the Bubble Sword, Flaming Fury then decided to rewrite it in C#, basically just replacing the Gosling utils with red utils, and then copy and pasting as much strategy as possible as he could in 2 weeks. And he did send me a few clips once in a while to give me an update on how it was going, and it looked pretty convincing. Some of it were just the red utils mechanics, you know, very recognizable, but there was also a few rotations in there. So oh, and yeah, and he did say that he was almost able to beat King. So I'm very excited to see if that also is going to happen here in the tournament.
No, that was going to be my next question. I mean, I know obviously Stardust, it's a pretty good bot. It's made it into the top 8, but when using red utils, how good of a chance do you stand when the bot that you've got in red utils at some point will likely have to face a bot made by the person who made the utils himself and knows exactly how it works?
Yeah, that's the thing. Let's get this match started though.
Definitely, we have our chat prediction, and it's a similar kind of margin for. Oh no, wait, why is it not? It's not showing me the correct one. That's why.
Oh, there we go. 3,000 versus 50. So people are really not rooting for Stardust. Oh man, they have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, I believe in Stardust. Stardust was the big question mark. I think I say I believe in Stardust. I had Duck winning this match, but I believe in Stardust to put up a big fight and not just get completely mercied here at the very least.
So far it's been more even than our previous matches. Duck takes a good long shot here. It's under post though, and it could be... No, never mind. Stardust is up and clears that one away.
And as we go past the 40-second mark in this game, Stardust, the first one to score. And I mean, chat seemed to be against Stardust. What was it? 1.3 thousand bot coins to 30 bot coins, according to Twitch predictions. So, I mean, it seems like chat's against it. Some people might be about to get a big payout here because Stardust currently is performing incredibly well against a bot seeded, 4 places higher than it?
Yep. Stardust was placed 7th in the seeding. Duck was, I think, actually number 2, so it's 5 places.
Ooh.
And Stardust lining up a shot here. He's gonna take another goal. Duck has not been informed that this was going to be a hard match. He's slacking.
I mean, yeah, there's what we have. Who's going to lose the most out of this? We got Ether RL65 with almost 400 bot coins on Duck. I imagine they are sweating very hard now with their bot coins, given 2-0 to a bot so far has only ever continued to compound and go to that 10-0 Mercy Rule. Granted, I don't think we will end up seeing the Mercy Rule here, but it might end up being very close as we are a minute and 15 seconds in, and I think that's the first major attack that we've seen from Duck.
And that was a cool save from Stardust here, just barely touching it, but completely changing the direction, clearing the ball away. Now Stardust is putting on some pressure on the blue goal. Doge trying to clear it away. Though Stardust has the most possession here, he's gonna go up the wall. Is he gonna go for a shot here? Oh, he tried, but it's Stardust 2 that's going to hit that one. Now Doge with an aerial, taking it to the orange corner. And that's a center where his teammate. Maybe he can follow up himself. No, he's out of boost. Yeah.
I mean, how close is this? You can see they got those 2 early goals. It solidified the lead, but ever since then, it has just been basically a game of ping pong. Although, as I say that, the ball over the top of the final defender, Stardust just didn't even move after it. It knows it's in, and it just stops moving.
Oh yeah, that's classy. I love it when bots do that. Just they know it's in. They're not just going to wait around or do something silly. There's also some that goes upside down. It's so fun.
So yeah, no one can stop my shot. It's the only moment that backfires is when somehow someone manages to save the shot and the bot's just kind of sat there staring as the goalkeeper speeds in. But in the case of Stardust, it seems pretty solid on when it's so far guessed that the ball's going in with no defender. And I mean, Duck struggling more than I think everyone would have expected, more than I expected for sure here.
Probably everyone, yeah. And that's a close call here for Stardust, but he managed to get it out and gain a little bit of control though. Doge is still chasing the ball hard, and we have a bit of a miscommunication. Stardust just shooting right at the other Stardust. We also have one Doge just waiting at home, keeping the goal. I don't know if that's necessary, but maybe that's something it's doing once it realizes it's behind.
Ooh, and a shot off the post there. Not exactly what you want to see as Duck. There's definitely opportunities, but I think Duck really being let down by the goalkeeper, basically, sat in net. It works as an implicit rotation since you know that you're the only one on the ball, so you don't need to worry about rotating in and out. But in the case of Duck here, he's been sat back in the net, and the one time that he does go for the ball is a double commit, and it does actually result in a goal. So it feels like that Duck sat in the net, not really actually doing much to help the team at the moment.
Yeah, it might be the wrong strategy in this case. Being behind and then not pushing for the extra aggression just means you're gonna stay behind. You're not going to be able to have the attack that you need in order to regain what you lost.
Yeah, I mean, there is a point in every Rocket League match where you either completely give in or throw everything that you possibly can at the ball. And right now, as it goes 5-0 down, I think that point was about 3 goals ago when Stardust was holding such a strong position, but still holding it equal. But at this point, Stardust starting to run away with the game, and unless a strategy change somehow comes from Duck, which looking at it doesn't look like there's any code implemented for it, I don't think Duck's really going to make much of a comeback here.
Yeah, Stardust is in a very comfortable lead here with 5 goals in the bank. There's also now 1 minute remaining, and even though we have a bit of a team misplay here, Stardust still gets the goal. So that's the number 6. I wonder if this one is also gonna be Mercy. I had not seen that coming.
I would not have seen a Mercy coming for Stardust. I could have seen one potentially coming for Duck if it got really lucky, but I don't think with 1 minute and 10 seconds, we've seen quite a few goals scored. It basically relies on kickoffs, because kickoffs like that are going to burn quite a bit of time and allow opportunities like that for Duck. And if Duck either shoots on target or wastes more time like it is doing now, I don't think it's going to really matter much. But that might be the first goal for Duck. Finally, the defender coming in clutch, but it is far too little, far too late, with a 5-goal lead for Stardust and 50 seconds left.
Yeah, Duck 2, the goalkeeper, finally caught the Stardust collecting boosts, so that left an open net that he could take a long shot at. Now a super neutral kickoff again, which is something we always see when they're using the same utils and they haven't adjusted that. Stardust is first to the ball though and making an aggression play of that. Duck, however,
Ooh.
with a breakaway, and that's a second goal for Duck. He isn't completely lost, but can he score 4 more goals in 36 seconds?
It's gonna be a close one. I mean, someone wanted the Brazilian chat. I think it was Joshy asking about it. It's sadly not going to end up in a Brazil at any point, but at the rate Duck has suddenly improved, there is still, as he said, that chance that they can find the weak spots if they are lucky. But right now, it's not looking great. It's definitely possible, as this will be another goal for Duck. Can someone check to make sure Red Utils doesn't make the bot throw if it's not a code RedBot when it reaches this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely looking a lot more like I expected it now, because when Flaming Fury was saying just almost able to beat King, and King is further down the ladder, then this was very surprising to see just start off almost destroying Duck here.
And I think that aerial touch there, I think that has just completely decided the game, because even with a speed shot like that, it's gonna go in, but with 4 seconds left, they're gonna have to pinch the kickoff in twice in a row and then win the overtime to even stand a chance, and there hasn't been a single pinch kickoff yet.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, but let's see them give it a try.
I can hope, I can believe, but I was about to say I don't expect it to happen. Yeah. And that is it. It's the first major upset of tonight. Duck, the second seed in the lower bracket already, against Stardust, who I believe you said was 7th seed, right?
Yeah.
Damn, what an upset.
And it's great to see. I mean, the reason we are here is to develop bots and have fun. And if this is not bot development and having fun at the same time, then I don't know what it is. This is what I like to see. We want good bots, and we just got a new one.
It is the major rewrite that's done wonders here, really.
Oh yeah, and that was a major payout for... was it only Aether?
No, Aether lost a lot of... hold on, who we got? We got Aether.
Oh, Aether lost, okay.
400 coins on Duck. There were 8 other people who put the remaining 900 points. So it's about an average of 100 points per person, give or take.
Converter.
Gone to 2 people.
Yeah, Converter and Rubik's. Congratulations. You just got a lot of bot coins.
But while I set up the prediction for this next one, why don't you talk us through the next matchup?
Yes, so we're going to see RedBot versus Bribblebot. So RedBot, again a Red Utils bot, but this one kind of meant more like an example bot in reality. And there's a few changes compared to the base repository or template that you get when you download the Red Utils. But it is pretty much just the example bot. And yet it's super good, as we can see, which is also why all of the other red bots are good. The opponent Bribblebot is a Python bot made by LoLapke, and it is famous for the way that it plays, because it is only dribbling, and when it's not dribbling, it's going for demos. And that gives a lot of other bots quite some trouble, because that's a very different playstyle.
I was about to say, I feel like the bot itself, ironically, I think goes pretty close to how LoLapke actually plays Rocket League himself. It's been a while since I've played with him, but from what I remember, it is not far off that, and it is. I don't think it's the same preset that LoLapke used, but it looks very similar to it. And I mean, you've already seen one demo, and we're literally second into the game, so that kind of shows what could be here. But I think the aerialing ability of RedBot is going to work wonders here against the Dribblebot.
Yeah, I think RedBot is too much of a ball chaser to really be affected by the dribbles. But of course, it also will not go for boost, as we are seeing here, so it might just be chasing a Bribblebot that it can't catch up to, and then the other Bribblebot is going in for the demo.
Ooh, and a close opportunity just squandered there on the post as Bribble. I haven't been keeping track of how many demos. We need like a demo that I can just tick up slowly, but I think it's about 3
Yeah,
or
I think
4
it's
at
3
now.
at this point.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's demo after demo after demo, but it's not actually caused anything major to happen against RedBot so far.
The demos keeps going, and Bribblebot here. Ooh, he almost got a 2-in-1. I don't know if that's possible, but RedBot is able to make a breakaway and score the first goal of the match. 1 minute and 10 seconds in.
I mean, so far, not to ruin what the end of this match might be for everyone else, but so far the bot that has scored first has gone on to win the entire thing. I don't want to say that's the case here because I feel like the demos from Bribble, they add enough randomness in that it is entirely possible for Bribble to make a comeback and to just outplay RedBot. But as it stands right now, I didn't mention my prediction before. On my sheet, I do have RedBot written as the winner of this one. But I think Bribble definitely stands more of a chance than any bot we've seen so far to actually bring this to a 1 or 2 goal game, really.
Yeah, I could see this one going either way. It really depends on if RedBot has enough ball chasing in order to really stop the dribbles. I think it does, but is it enough? Can it keep up all game? So far it's looking pretty good. We just saw him get a second goal here as I was speaking.
I mean, you say a second goal. I say Bribble own goal that because frankly that was a horrible.
True.
Oh
and
no! And here comes
that's
another
not
one.
goal. Okay, maybe this is rigged.
What is going on this field tonight? That's about the 4th or 5th own goal we've seen already, and I mean, luckily for us, it's been kept to the bot that seems to be losing, but still, you don't want to be seeing own goals as a bot mate here.
We have a neutral kickoff. Bribble first to the ball. He's not going to aerial for that one. RedBot is though. Bribble taking the dribble, but nope. RedBot is gonna use an SAT and clear it down to the orange half. Now RedBot 2 is gonna do the same trick, but this time it's gonna be a goal.
I mean, it's not an abysmal showing, but it's really dropped off that first minute where there was no goals. It was such a close match, and then as soon as that first goal went in, RedBot has figured out everything. It feels like maybe someone should check RedBot to make sure it's not a machine learning bot, because it seems to have perfectly figured out how to counter this Bribblebot play. Already 5-0 up after basically a minute and 10 seconds of scoring goals.
Yeah. So let's see, now we have seen all of the kickoffs and we're going back to the first one. So last time there were a lot of, or in the start of the match there was generally a lot of demos. Nope, not gonna happen this time. So it's just more of the same. RedBot going in using Bribblebot as a T, and yeah, I don't think Bribblebot can win this one.
I had hope for Bribblebot. I said Bribblebot was one of the bots I expected to hold it within 1 or 2 with the randomness of demos. The demos have stopped happening, the goals have started, and Bribble is just being obliterated now.
We are gonna need more demos. That was when it went best for Bribble.
Lola, add more
demos. But I think it's a very simple playstyle that can be very effective, and it is very effective against a lot of the lower tier bots because they are not able to handle these two things in combination. But then once we get up to a bot that actually has some ball chasing or some dribble disturbance mechanics, whatever we call them, then it's just not that very effective, and then it doesn't have anything else to switch to. It will just keep using its two tricks. It's a two-trick pony.
Definitely, and that is exactly what we've seen from all of the bots that have come so far down into the lower bracket, or at least went down into the lower bracket, I should really say, because it seems like they start out okay, but as soon as I don't want to say a weakness is found in exploit, because obviously a bot can't find and exploit the weakness, but as soon as it stops going their way, they don't change up their strategy at all. It's definitely a hard thing to code in for a bot, but there needs to be some change, because if you're, let's say in this case, 8-0 down, there is obviously something going wrong and your strategy isn't working. So even, like you said, just simply changing it up to maybe jump for the ball a bit more. Don't own goal like Bribble's about to do for the third time.
Yeah,
Strategies like that'll work.
I think he might have just given up here. You may also have just seen in the distance that after the goal, Bribblebot will start dancing on its nose. There, you just saw it also to the left. That's again, he is one of the bots that will celebrate even an own goal. He's just having fun.
I mean, to be fair, own goals are the best goals, but that is another mercy rule. It is just mercy rule central right now. I'm hoping, I believe we drop into the lower bracket now, don't we?
Yes, we do. So we had our first round of upper bracket matches, and now we're going to down to the lower bracket and play one match there. Well, not one match, but one row of matches. Column, I guess.
I mean,
words.
hopefully as we go down there and you figure out whether it's a row, a column, a circle, a square of matches, whatever it ends up being, hopefully they will be closer than the matches we have seen so far, because aside from Stardust versus Duck, it has been 10-0, 10-0, 4-6, 10-0.
Yeah, it's been pretty lopsided so far. Only one really interesting match. Hopefully that's going to change now that we have separated the goats from the sheep.
Definitely.
And let's see how Buddy versus Filament is going to turn out. What did your prediction say about this one?
My prediction, you know what? I'm definitely not. Oh, I've been too slow to start the Twitch prediction. Apologies, people watching in chat. I'm going to run a 30-second one because I was too slow.
I paused it.
Oh wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. While we do that, I was too busy thinking of my prediction, but I'm going to say that Filament takes this. I wanted to say that Buddy will take it for the sake of Robbie being in chat. Big Buddy fan. Myself, I do love Buddy, but I don't think Buddy has the edge on Filament, and not many channel points have been thrown in yet. So far, it leans ever so slightly in favor of Buddy, but I think this is the closest prediction we've had so far at 82. Oh, it's 60-40 now. We're getting closer to an even prediction.
Oh yeah, that's very even.
It's the chat slowly edging towards Filament, although someone's just dropped 1,000 points on Buddy. That is going to be 1,000 points well lost there.
I like the confidence. A huge 1k, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, this match could definitely go either way. I'm going to start it in 3 seconds, according to my timer.
Yep,
I don't think the first kickoff will make much of a difference, but let's see. Both buddies go for it. Filament, though, wins the kickoff, and Buddy has now an open goal due to that double commit.
Yep.
Blah, words.
I mean, the chat prediction, I will say, was in favor of Buddy in terms of points. In terms of people, it was in favor of Filament. So there could be some good things coming out here for anyone who predicted Filament. I don't want to say Buddy's just going to straight lose it, but we've already seen them double commit and leave an open net. It could quite easily happen again, although Buddy with the first major attack into the orange half, nothing actually came of it aside from a ball slightly high, and Filament's going to have the entire field to work with here, with very little resistance from Buddy as they both go for the boost, and I think they've left another open net. What are they doing here?
Oh, I think that was the classic after you. No, after you. And none of them really went for that one. In the end, Buddy just made a touch, but it was too late.
I mean, I feel bad for you, Robbie. You've come all this way. Your bot's gone 10-0 in the first game down, and now it's 2-0 down already, and we're only 30 seconds in. It's not a great start, although at least compared to all the other matches, there is the definite possibility for Buddy here to just get some goals almost like that there as it hits the post, and maybe make a comeback dependent on how aggressive Filament plays this and how many more double commits we see come out from Buddy.
But he's falling back as Filament tries to take a shot. It goes wide. Second Filament comes in. He misses. That leaves an open net. Buddy, now is your chance. It goes to the side wall and Buddy, he leaves it. He saw that he missed the chance and goes for a more controlled play.
It is such a close matchup in that corner. Buddy finally maybe figuring out how to do it as he gets first goal. It is back between one, and it's a close match. It's closer than all the ones we've seen so far. They've both managed to score a goal within the first minute and a half, which is more than what we've seen from any of the other matchups so far. And quite frankly, Buddy definitely able to continue scoring goals, but it is whether Filament remembers how to defend or whether Filament remembers how to own goals.
Yeah, we've seen both bots leave some open nets here, so it's definitely going to depend on how often that's going to happen, and whether the other bot is then willing to commit to that open net, go for the attempt even though it may not succeed. We all know how open nets can go. Currently Filament is trying to center it here for his teammate. The buddies are on top of each other trying to clear it out. Here we finally have a good touch. And that challenge also goes in favor of Buddy. Both of the buddies are committing for that one.
Ooh.
Now they're falling back and Filament has the time to breathe. Never mind, here comes Buddy again. It's a shot on post. A shot on the bar. It's still not in.
Oh no! Buddy, what are you doing? You had the opportunity twice in a row. Robbie not going to be happy with that one there, because quite frankly that should have been at least a goal for Buddy, not a post hit and then the crossbar. And what makes it even worse is Filament is now in the position to maybe capitalize on the following double commits. Luckily it's cleared out, and as the ball slowly goes down to that orange corner, it is whether Buddy can maybe pass it what a pinch, to be fair. I was about to say pass it middle, but he just clears it over to the other side. And I mean, it's the closest match we've had so far, but I don't think it's going to remain close for much longer.
Oh, that's another hit on the post and out from Filament. Yeah, it's definitely the closest match so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing. This is more of what I had hoped. Here's the centering from Buddy number 1, and Buddy number 2 sees it and scores.
That is an incredible shot to finally bring Buddy back into it. For once, we have ourselves a very close match. We had the 4-6 match. Now we've got a 2-2 match. There is just under 2 minutes left. Both bots have been able to score. It's whether they're able to defend more than anything right now.
Yeah, with a tight game, this is a lot more interesting what we've seen so far.
Definitely, but I mean, right now, neither bot having major advances on scoring in the net. They've both managed to get 2. It could be a third for Buddy here, and it is a third for Buddy. Frankly, it should have been at least 4 for Filament by now, and at least 4 for Buddy as well. But they both keep slamming it into that post. Luckily, Buddy able to capitalize off that one at the very least.
Yeah, an accident with the post can be quite fatal in such a situation, but sometimes that's just the shortest path to the ball. Here Filament going for a double jump shot. Both buddies up to block it. He saves it on the first try, but Filament 2 is also here. Takes the shot and we are tied again.
I mean, that is exactly the kind of matchup we want to see from this championship. It's 2 bots, similar skills, both performing their best. I feel like most of the mistakes they've been making haven't been bad. It's just that there's been so many of them that over time they have compounded as a pinch slightly off target there. It's whether Buddy can make... It's basically who can make the other bot have the most mistakes happen. And right now, it looks like Buddy may have made the most major mistake happen to Filament as he slaps one into that corner. It went over the top of one Filament, and then the other one wasn't in a position to save it.
Yeah, man. These mistakes, the double commits and the open nets, it's really the deciding factor here. And that's a very neutral kickoff. Buddy 2 is going to wait for that doesn't hit the shot. FillamentBot falls back. Filament 2 goes for the attack. That's a very good pinch in Filament's favor. Goes just wide. I saw it going in for a second there, but now Buddy is trying to clear this one away. Goes up the wall. He gets past one FillamentBot. Not the other one though, and now we have an open net. Filament, you can score this one, please.
Don't miss it, please. No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. That was Buddy who scored that. What's going? Robbie, your bot's got the wrong net again. Please fix, please.
I mean, that was going to be a bot dish, so Buddy had to do something. But I mean, not that. Let's be honest.
The problem is this kickoff. This kickoff has put it so well in Filament's favor. Luckily, a clear that I was about to say, if that had gone in, I think Robbie would have been crying in chat at that point, because it had been such a good showing from Buddy. But with 10 seconds left, Filament likely to have the final attack. It is whether it goes in. It is up off the wall. It is definitely in the bot dish position. Can Buddy stop it? It was almost saved by a Filament, but with 2 seconds left, it was, I want to say, a double touch. It was a weird shot.
Yeah.
It was just whatever happened there. Triple, quintuple, whatever kind of touch, but it went in the net, and that is all that matters for Filament here.
Just the right height for Filament's double jumps. Just under the crossbar. Filament takes it with a 1-goal lead. Congratulations. That means Buddy, however, is eliminated, as this is the loser's bracket and the second loss.
I don't want to say I warned everyone who predicted for Buddy, but I did say Filament was going to be the bot to win that one. And I hate to say that I was right, given I am a Buddy fan, but sadly I was right. And it was a close match, incredible gameplay from both sides. It was just those beginning open nets that Buddy left that just allowed Filament to sneak in the slight lead that ended up winning at the game.
Yeah, I agree. The double commit on the kickoff seems to be the reason for a lot of the goals. At least a lot of the early aggression on every kickoff from Filament was just straight off the kickoff, and it was dangerous every time.
Now we have an interesting matchup, given I don't think most people expected this matchup to happen at all, really. But Duck versus Bribblebot. The prediction is live in chat. Please vote for who you want to know so that we can see who chat seems to favor. I'm definitely favoring Duck for obvious reasons, coming in as a second seed. And I mean, I don't expect Duck to make it as far as I have it anymore, now that Stardust has shown its dominance over Duck. But Duck versus Bribblebot, it is the second seed versus, is that the 5th seed?
Maybe.
Still. Hold on, let me check.
I don't have the list, but I'm going to start the match
6th seed
now, so it can load up. 6th seed, okay. Yeah, so it's a bit of a surprise that we see Duck here, but maybe that means Duck will just have no trouble winning the losers bracket. Maybe that's what's gonna happen.
I mean, if you are Duck here, that is hopeful, given you had such a bad showing. But Duck, I feel like, is another one of those bots that is going to perfectly counter the dribble strategy of Bribblebot. They can challenge fast. They have that last guy sat back who will push for the ball if it starts heading towards his own net. But it's whether the demos from Bribble take out that last defender and weaken the attack. But right now, it hasn't done enough to stop Duck. He's up, he's got a touch, but it's just nowhere near the net.
Yeah, and we are seeing a lot of demos from Bribble, just like the previous game with Bribble. So as long as he kept demoing, it was going well. Let's see if that happens again, because now Duck gets the first goal.
And I mean, it is a very good start for Duck. Not as bad for it as what happened against Stardust here. It started against Stardust and went down for the first minute and a half, it felt like, and then finally it had a bit of a comeback, but still wasn't enough. Luckily for Duck here, as I've said, Bribble tends to be hard countered by bots similar to Duck, so I don't expect Bribble to put up massive fight, as that one's off the post. And I mean, it is just, it's whether Bribble's demos come in again.
Yeah.
If the Bribble demos stop, you see how much Duck just has to run with in the field.
Demos on the right timings, it's gonna be so huge. The fact that the Dog also has a goalkeeper is sitting still is going to be quite interesting, because that's gonna make it very easy to demo that guy. As I say that, it actually happens. Duck 2, however, just spawn right in time and gets to save that one. But that's the kind of chances that Bribblebot can make with against this playstyle.
Oh, what a... Was that a Doomsy dish from Duck? Hold on.
Yeah,
was
I
a
need to see a
dish
replay
around
of
the
that.
corner. That was incredible. I mean, Duck, it's sad to see you down in the lower bracket, especially when you can take shots like that. I mean, that is incredible. It is exactly what is needed to beat Bribble, who doesn't leave the ground. Right now, I think you just need to avoid the demos, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, so 2 goals up. Dog is now 2 minutes in, trying of course to make a third goal, but Bribble is running away with the ball here, dribbling his way towards the blue goal. He is losing the ball here to Dog, and Dog takes a long shot from the middle, and that's gonna be a third goal.
I mean, I don't think we're heading for the Mercy Rule territory. I don't think we have enough time for that, but it is showing how Duck did deserve to be higher seeded than Bribble at the very least. Stardust with the major change seemed to be the main thing that gave it edge. That kickoff sent a Bribble flying, though. I mean, that's the highest off the ground I think Bribble's ever been in Rocket League.
True. He is not one to leave the ground, so a rare flight for Bribble, and that ball is rolling on the goal line, but it does not go in.
So it's a very slow and weird shot to take off the post and out. But I mean, right now, Duck 2, this shows exactly where that one defender back kind of strategy works. Duck 2 can just interfere with anything that Bribblebot is trying to make, knowing that unless a demo comes out, Duck 1 is going to be chilling there in the net, ready to stop it. But Bribblebot dribbling the wrong way now, tends to go around the entire field. A demo saving it from the encroaching Duck, but it's still not going to be enough to stop the defense. I don't think Bribble's going to get a goal here.
They respawn too fast. They simply respawn too fast. Bribble is doing such hard work in order to keep the dogs dead, but they just keep coming back, and always in time to stop the dribble.
It is exactly the adversity bot style of play. That could have been their opportunity, but it instantly went against them. 2 Bribblebots near the ball. A strong clear just sends it, and there's nothing they can do. It's in the net. Game over.
Yeah, another tee shot here. Duck just teeing it off. Bribblebot sending it this time basically across the entire field. It's also what we saw in the earlier game with who was that? That was RedBot against Bribblebot, and it is using the same utils, so it's not what's going on here. So Duck and Bribblebot is having a small dance in the midfield, trying to make the other bot not go where they want to. It did not give Bribblebot 2 the timing or the time he needed to score, but it looked very fun.
Sometimes you just gotta take a moment away from playing Rocket League and dance with your opponent, as Bribble does save that one. It didn't feel like it was going to be a save, but a great touch there. I didn't quite see what happened. Was it just a double jump shot from Duck? But whatever it was a great goal.
An aerial shot from a very wide angle. Good touch there.
And this shows why he is second seed, even though he did get knocked out by Stardust down to this lower bracket. It shows Duck is a bot that should not be underestimated. He didn't do well at first. He's definitely doing well now against Bribble, as that is going to be goal number 6, maybe? Yes, yeah. I was about to say I saw it hit the post. Is it going in? But Duck's there to confirm it anyway.
One thing we haven't talked too much about is also the fact that Bribblebot does not aerial, but red utils in general will aerial a lot. So whenever the ball goes in the air, it's basically just dogs. And that's how he's gonna get past Bribblebot so often.
to be fair to Bribble, I don't know if a Bribblebot has wings, but I do know from experience in real life that ducks do in fact have wings, so it is probably a lot easier for Duck to get up into the air than it is for Bribble.
That makes so much sense. That's why Doug is taking off here. And putting 2 shots on the backboard again. Can he get a 7th gold before this match is over? It's only 10 seconds now.
I don't think he's going to make it with 5 seconds left. There's the opportunity for Bribble if it can get it on nose, but yeah, it's just not going to happen, and I don't think Duck's going to keep it up. That is it. It is a 6-0 victory. It's still not that 7-1 Brazil that everyone is after all night, but that is the first column done completely. Round 1, or upper round 1, lower round 1, I believe. That is 2 bots knocked out, quite frankly.
And as I enter the score here, you can finish the prediction.
There's Duck who has absolutely won, and we go back up now to the top. Bumblebee versus King. It is a match I think quite a few people have been waiting to see for a lot of tonight. It is definitely not going to be of the level of the upper final, most likely, but for sure it is going to be a good match, as Bumblebee, the incredible bot made by Darxeal, versus King, I believe, made by CodeRed.
Yes.
It's first seed versus definitely one of the other seeds. Well, quickly, first seed versus 4th seed. I think this is the highest matchup that Bumblebee will have had so far. Let me try and remember how to spell King.
A lot of this bracket is really just Bumblebee versus Red Utils, because all of Bumblebee's matches is probably going to be against that. So now the question is, can it consistently win against that? Or will we see a RedBot finally making it through and taking the B down?
Definitely. I mean, there's 2 sides to it here. I want to make my predictions. I have already.
Yeah.
Way, but for the upcoming finals in about 4 or 5 series time, I do want to say I'm going to be very torn, because I want Bumblebee to come first, because Bumblebee so far has shown itself to be the top bot, but at the same time Darxeal always comes second, so there's no way Bumblebee can win.
Yeah, the Darxeal has been cursed at some point in his life, and his bots will always come second. Or at least in all official tournaments. I think there's one exception somewhere in a smaller one at some point. Maybe today is going to be different. There is actually a chance that Bumblebee will win this one.
I still magically make Nexto appear right in the
he
finals,
just
so that then
pops
Bumblebee
out of nowhere. He's like a boss battle here in the game. In the very
Noob
end.
writing it up right now, quick. Whoever makes it to final has to beat Nexto, or they come second.
So let's head into the match. Bumblebee versus King. King wins the kickoff. And he's up for that ball already. It's gonna be a pass center. Or centering. Not quite in though. King still with the possession. He's gonna take a weak shot on the post.
It's a good starting offense for King so far. I will say, looking at the chat predictions, we have it 91% in favor of Bumblebee winning this match. There will be a massive upset if Bumblebee cannot manage. But right now, I don't want to say Bumblebee's not faring well, but it has felt like King holds all of the cards, also holds the first goal 40 seconds in. A beautiful read as the ball waterfalls down off that top corner. There's nothing Bumblebee can do in the defense.
I mean, the ball prediction, it's so good. I'm so glad we have that, because reads like that, oh boy, I have no idea how I would program that. So awesome thing that it's already just in the framework. Oh, and Bumblebee sees an open net here as King gets a bit too aggressive in the corner.
I will say, this is the opportunity this game, with everyone's prediction, with my prediction, with the scoreline we currently see, this could be, as Robbie has pointed out, the first time that a team who hasn't scored first goes on to win the match. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, maybe. Statistically, it is most likely that King will now win, just from what we've seen so far, and also just because it's
The king.
he's the king, exactly. And at one point he was ahead. But of course it's not a guarantee that he's going to win. Bumblebee here stalling some time. King up for that one with a beautiful block, and it bounces towards the blue goal. Bumblebee is back to save that one. King with another shot on the post. It's getting a bit heated here in the blue half. Oh, and it's beautiful shot on the backboard, and then a follow up by the other mate. King is looking very good right now.
I was about to say, yeah, no, I mean, it's been non-stop pressure aside from that one breakaway Bumblebee has had. It is non-stop pressure from King, holding it in that blue half. Bumblebee's been trying and trying and trying to get the ball out, has yet to manage it, except for that one long attack that made it through. And right now, the scoreline reflects the pressure that King has been putting on, and that is another goal for King. I don't want to say that our champion, because he's not our champion, but you know what I mean.
He's our queen.
Our queen bee. Yeah. Our queen bee is just being slowly beaten into the ground and slowly losing here.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing here from King. B is known to be super strong and super dangerous with the long shots, but so far King has just been putting up such a good offense and rotations in order to just keep up the attacks going that Bumblebee hasn't even had a chance to do the long shots that it's used to do.
Yeah, I mean, Bumblebee works well as a duo, but King right now showing that if you stop the duo from being able to connect to each other, there's no point of there's no point of really having any kind of get the passes across to your teammate, and there's no one ready to get it. Then there's no point of the pass in the first place. And King doing an incredible job shutting off all of these attacks and plays that Bumblebee has been trying to make whenever they get this possession. King is there and ready, and it is looking like a beautiful double touch post.
Oh man. Yeah, Bumblebee had to retreat to his own corner, and King is just following up, chasing him down there. The constant pressure from King is not really giving the bees any room to breathe. And yes, as was shouted out here in chat, why is Darxeal losing? Yeah, we did not expect this, but I guess maybe it is the curse that I mentioned before this match. Maybe Darxeal is deemed to only get second place forever in official tournaments.
I no longer like the fact that I predicted Bumblebee to go the full way. And frankly, right now, King is on fire. King is dominating Bumblebee. It is, I mean, frankly, I would have expected a scoreline like this, but the other way round. Right now, Bumblebee just nowhere on this field to be found.
This is definitely the best version of King I've seen so far, and I'm happy it's finally doing so well, because for a long time it's just been pretty even with RedBot, and that's a bit of a shame given that RedBot is it basically has no strategy, it's just a ball chaser. But now the rotations in King is so strong that he is able to match up with Bumblebee here, giving the bees a really hard time.
Can I ask, was it King who was updated heading into this, or was that Duck that you said?
That was King. King was updated for today, and it looks like it's really paying off.
I refer back to my previous point of you saying, what does it mean it'll perform better in a tournament in comparison to what it is in the bot pack? As Bumblebee does get another one, I think someone has been testing King against Bumblebee.
Oh, that could be it. That could be it. Maybe it's just fine-tuned to beat Bumblebee. Maybe that's what's happening, because Bumblebee is in the bot pack, and therefore it's also it's legal to just play against it, train against it. which is, I guess, one of Bumblebee's weaknesses now.
I was about to say that is the one risk of having a bot openly accessible. You get to see people playing your bot, and especially Bumblebee, who is an incredible bot. It's worth watching someone play against them. But it shows that King right now has been using that exact thing to its advantages. 6-2 now on the board. 50 seconds left. It's not over for Bumblebee yet, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, Bumblebee really has to put in some work now. It's gonna have to be a goal every 10 seconds if he's gonna have any chance here.
I mean, I don't think that's going to be possible. We've already seen 10 seconds go by. It's quite easily going to have another second, although King, I thought, was about to own goal. Having seen all I thought maybe it's just a ritual for the orange team player, but that is another 10 seconds gone by without a goal. And it is looking more and more likely like this could end in a goal for King instead. But as more and more time passes, it is a commodity that Bumblebee does not have to waste. And right now, waste it is all Bumblebee seems to be doing.
10 seconds, or 5 by now. This match is over. Now we're just waiting for the ball to drop. And there we go, Bumblebee is gonna do a classic Bumblebee aerial, slamming the ball into the ground in this case.
It is a beautiful showing of just how much you can improve a bot in comparison to an opponent, because from what I heard, Bumblebee not necessarily dominated King in league play, but did a very good job holding off King and the other bots from being a major nuisance at the top. And right here we see, I mean, Duck versus Stardust was an upset. I don't know what we call this, because frankly I don't think anyone, I mean, some people did, I will say that, some people predicted it, but I don't think most people expected an upset of this magnitude to happen.
Yeah, this is impressive. Congratulations, CodeRed. You really did and put in some good work here. It's so good to see. And it also just shows how updating your bot, it's definitely worth it. Small changes here and there, adjustments all the time, fine-tuning it. It really pays off in the long run. It's so hard, it's so frustrating. It's not fun in a lot of cases, but in the end, it's gonna pay off.
Oh, I need to do the prediction. Hold on, let me quickly start this prediction. I was just thinking, but it feels like a similar thing to what we saw from self-driving car, when self-driving car was in its prime and just absolutely dominating, where What Is a Phone would just keep changing every minuscule thing until it knew that it could win in the scenarios that it wanted it to. Can I check what the matchup is? It's Stardust versus RedBot, right?
Yeah. SDC self-driving car was also a very fine-tuned bot, and it was really well tested. Like, What Is a Phone's whole development strategy, that was test-driven development in a bot, which is something I had never expected to see that, given that it's Rocket League. Like, how would you test that? But using the RLBot training tool by Dom and so on, he actually made testing possible with a bot, and then he just made sure that every change that he made only improved it, and that way he just got closer and closer. Okay, Robbie points out it wasn't RLBot training, but it was a similar system. And he took snapshot of moments before disaster, and then he just adjusted things here and there until those things weren't disasters anymore. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but it pays off.
Can I be the one to ask this very important question for you, East? Okay, this could define the upper bracket here. Okay.
Okay.
Is it only RedBot or Red Util bots left in this upper bracket right now?
Yes.
Okay, so right now CodeRed has complete control of it, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, basically, yeah. We have a scenario where he's guaranteed to be in a final.
Yeah, I mean, he can't really lose out here at all. I mean, if RedBot beats Stardust, what do we do then? CodeRed having the upper bracket.
He's just all by himself. I mean, There's also there is a world where RedBot will lose either this one or the next one, and then we'll just have RedBot and King in the finals instead. And then yeah, CodeRed is just guaranteed to win.
I mean, the thing is, we're talking about this matchup in the upper bracket, but before we start this next match, I want you to look at match number 11, because that was the expected upper finals right there.
Oh yeah,
that
according
is
to
Duck
the seeding.
versus Bumblebee.
Yeah.
I mean,
the upsets has really messed up this bracket, and we are seeing some matches we never expected, or in a different order than what we expected.
But either way, we can see that in this matchup, it is slightly in favor of Stardust, in that there are more points in favor of Stardust, but there are more people in favor of RedBot winning this. I don't know whether they're just jumping on odds or whether they actually believe that RedBot is going to do this, but in terms of points, it's 72-28. In terms of people, it's 7-6. So RedBot has the people, Stardust has the points. The question is, who is going to have the win after this 5 minutes of matches? And it starts out very well in favor of Stardust here.
RedBot keep popping it up here, out of reach for Stardust, and it's basically his only measure to keeping it away from scoring here. He finally gets a breakaway and sends the shot towards the blue goal, but Stardust is able to get back in time to save that one. Stardust now up, sending it slightly down towards the red field, and oh, that's a shot on post. This match is really just about going into the air. I can see everybody's jumping around constantly.
Definitely. I mean, both of these bots, as we've already said, using the same utility. CodeRed having been written by RedBot, having been written by CodeRed, be a bit weird, but I mean, it shows maybe just that slight bit more mastery of the utilities being used as it does get this first goal. But I can definitely see the comeback for Stardust here. It's definitely possible. Is that a different preset for Stardust, or have I just not been paying attention?
This is the preset that it's been using for some time.
Okay.
The orange preset looks a bit weird. I don't know if that one changed, but it definitely doesn't match as well as the blue one here. So it's best looking on blue. That's what I'm saying.
And I mean, 2-0 now for RedBot. People saying I'm not paying attention. To be fair, I've only seen Stardust play on the orange team, so that is my excuse. I haven't actually seen its blue team decal, so it's not my fault. But at least here we can see Stardust trying its hardest. It needs to beat this RedBot, both to keep itself in this upper bracket and to stop CodeRed from having complete control of the finals. But we are already a minute and 15 in, and CodeRed, or at least RedBot, sorry, I keep getting the bot and the maker confused, but they already have that lead, and all they have to do is hold it for 3.5 minutes, which definitely is a doable tactic here.
And Stardust finally able to get a score here, or get on the scoreboard, catching it off Redguard here as he losing it on his way. And that's only a 1 goal difference. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty good match. Now for the fourth kickoff, it's very neutral. Stardust hits it first, but I think it's just gonna roll up the post. RedBot lifts it out and out on the field. Is Stardust gonna be able to make it back in time? No, he's not, so RedBot takes another goal. It's 3-1.
I was about to say, it is that commandeering lead that RedBot currently has. If it can just keep it up, keep the attacks going. I mean, we could be on track for a Brazil here, which I know chat would love, but right now 3-1, 3 minutes 12 seconds remaining. There is plenty of time left in the clock. There's plenty of opportunities for Stardust to come back here. That, however, is an opportunity for Stardust to go further back as it flips by the ball, pushing up for the ball.
So CodeRed has just revealed that there is actually a bot in the red utils that he just fixed. He has a static list for boost pads, and for each bot it adds the boost pads twice. I think I said that right, but I also messed it up halfway. It doesn't sound like a bug that it's going to majorly affect gameplay, but it does gonna make them slower here and there.
I mean, I do want to say, just because Lolapka will hate me when I say this, but RedBot doing an incredibly good job here. I can't see any way that it could lose this match now, as it has the 4 goals. It does have a lot of time to hold out with it for, though. And Stardust, I mean, Stardust hasn't been performing as well as maybe it did against Duck, which is quite surprising given Duck is the 2nd seed heading into this. But Stardust, I mean, maybe Stardust only works against Duck.
I don't know, maybe. I think also Dark has a different playstyle compared to the other red utils, from what I've been able to tell. So that slight difference might be what we are seeing here. But in this case, RedBot is definitely looking like the strongest of these 2 bots.
And I mean, it is exactly at points like this when we are 6-1 where I wish the Mercy was 6, because then we could end this on the Brazil if Red.
Yeah,
sure, but...
it used to be 7, but I decided it to be 10 for this tournament. Maybe I shouldn't have. It's not like...
Maybe you should change it right now.
Right now.
For no reason. No reason whatsoever. Yeah, no reason.
Ooh.
Oh, good shot.
Stardust is going to take a 2nd goal here. RedBot slams it into the ceiling, and Stardust just makes a small touch which makes the ball land on RedBot's front, and then it just rolls in very fast.
Yeah, and I mean, we have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. There is the opportunity for Stardust to come back. I don't think it's that likely, as RedBot has been showing how just aggressively well it's been playing. It's held the aggression. It's stopped Stardust from making plays. And right now that is exactly what it needs to be doing, as I'm not entirely sure what that aerial strategy was from RedBot there. It seems like it's the mount your opponent and stop them from going any higher up in the strategy. But sadly, there were 2 Stardust up for that ball, not just 1.
Yeah, that is a very interesting air bomb technique happening in the midfield. That's usually not something we see. It's usually very hard to predict when that's happening, but I'm looking forward to the moment they start using this in ILCS.
Definitely. I mean, I think it has been used before, but not in that way. I think a player has jumped off the back of a different player to get a flip reset, which, I mean, it's an interesting way to get a flip reset, but what they need to do before anything like this is the bots need to figure out how to defend.
Yep, we see RedBot 2 here taking a long shot, scoring the 7th goal for the orange team. That means RedBot is 4 goals ahead with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. We have another neutral kickoff, but if nothing major is changed here on the blue team, then RedBot is going to take this one.
Yeah, I don't see how RedBot could throw this here. He's got the lead, he's been able to score more. There's quite literally no way that RedBot should be able to throw this.
Oh, nice save by Stardust there on the goal line, basically, after RedBot takes a very wide shot. And once again, the bots are just jumping up and down, up and down. Stardust makes it into a goal.
I mean, there's hope. There is hope. They could do this. Whether they will do this is, yeah. I mean, they've got time. They've got the opportunity to score more goals.
It's definitely not over.
Yeah, they've got a minute. They have 3 goals to score. It's 1 every 20 seconds or so. It's whether RedBot can hold off. Maybe this is the RedBot throw code.
Oh, that's a good bounce. Yeah. Stardust sending it off the wall, and RedBot is not able to catch up to it, so it goes in. I guess he does make a few touches, but he's not able to really change the direction. 2 goals, 40 seconds. Come on, Stardust.
Come on, you can do this. 40 seconds. 2 goals. I was about to say 1 goal, but it's 2 goals to get it to an overtime. 3 goals to win it. You just got to stop RedBot from scoring here. Turn it into a counter-attack. Slam it into that orange net. And then make your way away with it. But right now, RedBot had the opportunity to score. Didn't manage. There are 20 seconds left on the clock. It is all up to whether Stardust can get a goal here and now. And I don't think Stardust can. I think that may have decided the game entirely. With 9 seconds left, or slowly getting down to 5, there's just no opportunities left.
Yeah, all of them are low on boost now. They have really just been pushing it here, trying to keep up with each other, and yeah, that is gonna make it a win for RedBot.
And that is going to be a upper finals of CodeRed bots.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. Let me quickly read whatever message I've just received on Discord. I will sort out the prediction in a second.
7-5 to RedBot, so CodeRed now sitting very comfortably in the finals of the upper bracket. Of course, he doesn't have to win just the upper bracket, he also needs to win against the winner from the lower bracket. But there's a chance that's gonna be him again. There's only one way to find out, and that is to go down to the lower bracket again. Here we're going to see FillamentBot versus Stardust.
Filament versus Stardust. Thanks for reading them out, makes my life a lot easier. Filament,
Yeah, I could hear you typing in the background, so I knew it was time.
Stardust. And boom, we have another prediction. Hopefully the way around. A few people they are, that is good. I mean, we have Filament versus Stardust. I expect Stardust to win this, although the RedBot upset makes me unsure. And then if Duck beats Bumblebee here, this could be Duck knocked out of the competition.
Oh yeah. The upset has really
It's thrown a spanner in the works.
exactly, that was the one I was looking for. So all predictions are off the chart. Everything is off script, and there's really only one way to find out what's gonna happen. I just paused this match here because I can see the prediction is still running, and I don't want to affect people too much. I know how important this is to you guys.
I think the 5.6k currently on Stardust isn't going to affect much with the match starting, but as it does count down, it is whether Filament will own goal, it is whether Stardust only performed well against Duck, and I think this match will be our opportunity to find out, really.
Yeah, this time Stardust is going to play against a very different bot. A bot that does have some flaws, but also some strength in its double jumps and so on. So hopefully this entire rewrite that Flaming Fury has been doing is now really going to pay off, because this is a match where the old Stardust, I think, oh, that was very even. I just have to double check here.
Ooh, but a beautiful shot there. I think that was another Doomsday. How many Doomsday seeing today? Because
not too many.
The second. Yeah. I mean, it's 2 more than I've ever seen in an RLBot Championship. So I'll put it that way.
Yeah, so FillamentBot, of course, is higher seeded on you're going into the finals, but this rewrite may change everything.
The lack of defense from Filament does change a lot here, as he just casually rolled by that ball as it was going into his own net, and I think we might be on track for a potential mercy here.
A neutral kickoff. Stardust decides to reverse to that ball. Does give him the position first. He takes a shot, it's blocked by Filament. Filament now able to make a shot. It's not gonna be very strong though. He goes for the double jump without boost. So no problem for the Stardust to really get back and defend that one and block it. He's already back on the offense now. Let's see, Stardust passing it to his mate. Nope, never mind. That was a fake pass. He almost made this goal himself, in fact.
And I mean, time is the one thing that both teams have plenty of. There is ample opportunity for either bot to either extend the lead or shrink the lead right now. And I think it shows in that neither bot seems to be playing anything majorly aggressive. I doubt people have actually coded in specific, oh, we have enough time to just sit there and chill kind of code. But I still feel like right now, neither bot making many advances, and that is exactly how it should be played when you have time. You want to wait for the opponent's mistake and then take the shot from that rather than just charging blindly at the ball and hoping. But Filament almost managing to take advantage of a slight mistake. It is whether these pushing upfield plays from Filament end up putting them both out of position and allowing a counterattack from Stardust to slip through.
Yeah, preferably he will just score on those attacks, and then he doesn't have to worry about where he end up. But Stardust, on the other hand, is pretty good at defending, so it's not gonna be that simple.
And it is entirely up to whether Stardust can find these passes. We've seen passes attempted by Stardust. We've seen shots attempted by Stardust. 2 went for that one, and it is Filament's finally Filament's time. So I got the words mixed up there, but he doesn't go fast enough towards the ball to really be a major problem for this defense so far.
But the thing you mentioned before about bots changing up their playstyle, we have surprisingly few bots that do that. And I just thought about maybe that's because that is effectively as making 2 strategies in one bot, and just making one strategy is actually pretty hard. So maybe that's why we never seen them switch up the strategy. Stardust here, able to do a simple geometry kind of goal here, shooting it off FillamentBot, and he doesn't even need to follow up. He realizes that's just going in, and he now gets his 3rd goal.
And I mean, 3 goals right now could be all that is needed to maintain this lead. You did mention the idea of coding in lots of different strategies, and I will say it does seem like the general consensus is a general bot does better than a bot that has specific strategies. Stardust being a pretty solid example of this. It seems like it just goes for whatever it feels like is best at the time, rather than going, I want to do this unless I'm losing and then I'll change up my strategy. He just seems to play the same game and do a pretty good job of it, rather than, let's say, Bribble, who does a very good job at dribbling, but basically doesn't do much else.
Yeah, Bribble is the kind of bot, though, who would really benefit from switching up the playstyle here and then, because it's so simple. It should be easy to make some just other alternative that's very different. Yeah, we now have
Definitely.
1 minute remaining. 4 goals, 4 goal lead for Team Orange, which is Stardust, using red utils, of course. And that is gonna be a long shot from Filament. Filament now also on the scoreboard with 1 goal.
I mean, it's well placed. It is well timed as well, because it still allows space and the time for Filament to maybe begin a comeback. I don't think we've seen... Have we actually seen a bot who's not scored first to win a game yet?
No, we haven't.
So
maybe we should just play first to 1 goal.
It seems to be the faster way to do it, because we could have been done in about 5 minutes if we'd have done that.
Yeah, why waste time like this? No, of course not. There is some interesting upsets here, and we definitely want to see if they be real. Are these updates really that amazing? And so far, every upset has been a real upset, and Stardust update has really made it very strong.
I was about to say, it is the idea that one slight change in a bot could not necessarily cause major issues for another bot, but if it's enough to tip the favor, like we saw with Duck and Stardust, it can send ripples through the entire bracket where everyone seems to be out of position now. But a nice pinch off the wall there with a follow-up just allowed Stardust to sneak another one in with 1 second left, and that is the game, really.
Yeah, GG. Stardust wins another one, takes down another one that is actually seated higher than himself. And that's gonna be a lot of points for everybody who bet for Stardust.
It is
let me
very
just
true.
do. There we go.
Oh no, Eastvillage has been temporarily disabled. What a tragedy.
Ah, yeah. That error message is still happening after all these years, but it still works.
It's, you know, it's just how it is. But it looks like it is time to set up the prediction for, frankly, the most anticipated matchup that we could have in this lower bracket. It is Bumblebee versus Duck. Which way around is it? Is Bumblebee on top or Duck on top?
Dog is blue. On top.
Okay.
Yeah. So Duck versus Bumblebee, a match that we would have expected to see in the finals according to the seeding, but this seeding, it does not count anymore. It's outdated. We have some new strong bots in here, which for unfortunate reason means that we're going to see Duck versus Bumblebee here. Let's see if this match lives up to our expectations.
Definitely. I mean, I like my predictions. I don't quite know how to predict this one though, because I had Bumblebee. I mean, I had Bumblebee beating King, so I don't know how to feel about Bumblebee versus Duck. I'm gonna go with Duck on this one. I'm going Red Utils all the way.
I think I'll go with B here. So
Yeah, but
based on that.
Ducks eat bees. You got to think about it that way.
Yeah, that's a good argument, but I will take the gamble and vote for Bumblebee in this case, simply because I know that Darxeal will eventually get second place. So based on that alone, it's obvious that he should win this one.
True, I hadn't thought of it that way, but I will say that kickoff from Bumblebee is very, very, very consistent. Given every single time it has done that kickoff, I have seen it bump itself that corner in the exact same way, just every single time without fail.
It's part of the strategy, man. It works.
Catch the bots off guard. It's a great way to do it.
But I believe Doug, as opposed to King that we saw earlier, is going to give Bumblebee the space in order that will allow Bumblebee to take his long shots, as we are seeing right here. In fact, Bumblebee takes our first goal of this match 30 seconds in.
Definitely. I mean, to be fair, if Duck hasn't had any major changes, has it?
No, it has not. I don't think it's been updated the entire tournament, if I remember correctly. Bumblebee has neither, though, so they have been...
In that case, historically, Bumblebee would win. But
exactly.
Duck did just equalize, and that is exactly what we want to see as fans of Duck. Every Duck, no one likes Bumblebee. Bumblebee more like Bad Bee, or Bumble Bad, depending on what you want to say. We love Duck. Let's go, Duck.
No, we love Bumblebee. Bees for the win. It even got a new car for the tournament.
I mean, to be fair, it seems like Psyonix is in favor of Bumblebee here.
Yeah, even Psyonix are Bumblebee fans.
And that makes me being a Duck fan all the more better when even more people are going to be... Duck is going to win this. They're going to break the first goal loss streak. As I say that, they completely leave the ball on.
Yeah, they had a bad misplay here where one of them gets stuck on a post, the other one, I think, got bumped by his teammate, potentially up into the air, stuck on the wall, drops down in the very end. There's no one there to save that shot. Bumblebee now in the lead with one goal again.
I believe in Duck. Duck has already brought it back once. It can bring it back again. Then it just needs to score one more goal, and it could take the lead. Come on, Duck.
Duck to the goalkeeper, going for some long shots here. Very similar strategy, in fact, when you start comparing. He's not doing a great job of saving the long shots from Bumblebee, though. He has another one that just goes straight in.
I mean, it's perfectly placed there, but it's still only... Is it just me? Does Duck not jump much for the ball?
It does jump, we're seeing it here, for instance, but I think you're right, it jumps far less than the other Red Utils bots.
But I think that is what maybe is giving Bumblebee the edge here, because Bumblebee is happily slamming those balls. And aside from that jump there, I don't know how many times I've actually seen it jump to get a defensive touch. It always seems to only jump on the offense. But right now, catching out a Bumblebee, and it is back within 1.
Exactly 2 minutes in, basically. Not exactly. Figuratively, exactly. We are 2 minutes in. Bumblebee, 3 goals. Doge, 2 goals.
And I mean, as time continues to go off, it is the key thing for every single one of these bots. It is the time. Some of them need a while to get plays made. Some of them can do it fast. Right now, Bumblebee and Duck seem to have very similar amounts of times needed to get the play, but only one of them seems to actually be making those plays currently, and that is Bumblebee, who is now 4-2 up.
Beautiful shot from Bumblebee here, taking the long route, making a very steady shot right on target as Doge makes an unfortunate, badly timed dodge.
It is such an interesting matchup we see here of 2 bots, first and second seed. They're closely matched, but there's still that little edge that you can see from the first seed, although that sent high, not when you wanted it. Luckily, the follow-up is there, and we are up to 5-2 to Bumblebee. 2 minutes 20-ish remaining, and I mean, what more can Duck do?
Yeah, it just doesn't have what it takes, it seems. But I should not be calling it that early. No, Bumblebee is known as the stronger bot, and I think we are just seeing history repeat here. Doge with another long shot though, and this Bumblebee does not have any boost. So that's a goal for Doge.
I think this is exactly where Duck gets its slight advantages when Bumblebee isn't there. It has the space and it can just slam those long shots, because I don't think it's actually missed a long shot. They might have been saved, but they've all been perfectly on target. That one perfectly placed and timed to really weaken Bumblebee. And it's the start of another attack already off a kickoff for Duck. They may be down, but they definitely are not.
Yeah, a good point about the long shots here. Both of these bots are really playing with the long shots, and one of them is just doing a little bit better when it comes to saving all of the shots. But still, both of them are caught off guard here and there. And I also think the Bumblebee has had a bit more success in the close shots area, and that is what have given Bumblebee this lead that we are now seeing.
Definitely. I mean, what does the shot counter look like for both teams here?
Let's just have
Surely
a quick
it's
look.
Gotta be. I really wish I had the pixels to see that.
Okay, so the Dogs are on 2 and 3, while Bumblebee are 7 and 3.
I mean, it's twice as many shots right there for Bumblebee, and it is showing potentially how Bumblebee is making it just so much easier for itself. But at the same time, it's twice as many shots, but it's also twice as many goals, which shows that they're both as accurately as each other. Duck just needs to shoot more.
Yeah, and here Doge is going to make an attempt. He almost drops the ball. Bumblebee now takes it away from him, and we are again seeing Doge 2 here, keeping the goal and actually making quite a misplay as the ball approaches, and Bumblebee is able to score another goal. But I think maybe this is probably why we are seeing a lower shot count from Doge. Doge sometimes has this goalkeeper staying back, playing on the defense, and that's just why it doesn't have the same strength in the attack.
I was about to say, it is just the lack of pressure that it's putting on. Once again, I feel like it is that second man back. It's been working for stopping the shots, but it hasn't allowed it to get the shots on the opponent's net. And sometimes it's not necessarily having a defender that helps you win a match.
Yeah, because if they really have the same accuracy as it looks like the statistic says right now, then just increasing the number of shots, that's the way to go.
But with about 5 seconds left now, it is all but over for Mr. Duck. It is going to be a knockout game there. We've seen first seed, they've knocked out second seed. At least one of the seedings was correct, we could say.
And we just got to see Bumblebee's new car here doing... Oh, I almost wrote that wrong. Doing the little dance. I can see that Redux have never seen that one before. So yeah, Bumblebee now has a Bumblebee car that does a dance animation when it wins. It's weird, but they obviously added this just for Bumblebee's sake.
Of course, they're just like you said, they're just huge fans of Bumblebee. But if I am correct here, we now have Stardust versus Bumblebee, so Bumblebee gets to play again. Or are we going back to the top? Is this the point?
We are going back to the top here. We're going to see
okay.
the finals of the upper bracket, King versus RedBot. So two CodeRed against each other, guaranteed to make it to match number 14, where everything is going to be decided. And one of them is going to lose and then play against the winner of the lower bracket, or I guess it'll become potentially the winner of the lower bracket, facing off against either Stardust or Bumblebee. We'll find out in just a moment. But yeah, now I see you have started the prediction. Is it gonna be King or RedBot? What do you think?
I'm gonna have to go with King. King has put on a dominating performance. We've seen I mean, Stardust did great against Duck, I'll give him that. Stardust did good against RedBot, but not as good. But we saw Duck, who Stardust absolutely bullied. Well, not absolutely bullied, but did well against, get absolutely bullied by Bumblebee. Now, Bumblebee got absolutely bullied by King.
Yes. Yeah.
RedBot barely beat Stardust, so I think King takes this all day, every day.
I also have a feeling that CodeRed is specifically training against RedBot here and there, because he is also convinced that RedBot really should be better. Oh, sorry, King should be better than RedBot, given that RedBot doesn't really have that much strategy. And it looks like he might have found a really good version here of King, and hopefully this version will beat RedBot.
I mean, it's pretty close to even on points, 69% to 31%, but it's 13 people voting King over 6 people voting RedBot.
Yeah.
I think chat is very in favor of King winning this. I'm in favor of King winning this. Whoever loses this match is at worst 3rd place, I believe, if I've got my counting right. So it's not a massive loss, but still King striking early on, already 1-0 up. And I think it's the start of what could be a very high-scoring game for King.
Yep, not a very convincing touch here from RedBot. Classic just jump for it and pop the ball even higher, but it's not really moving the ball out of the danger zone. So King is scoring, and he's going to score again here on a very low roller. Only RedBot coming in the very last moment and making that a pinch into the goal. But yeah, so far King is doing amazing. It looks like this could be our new champion.
I mean, it's going well. This has all the makings of being a mercy rule, which would be quite impressive given.
Yeah, given how far we are into this bracket, yeah.
But I mean, still with plenty of time, we haven't actually seen RedBot get an attack going. So maybe if RedBot can get an attack going, it might. Right now, King showing the playstyle that has worked so well for it already. It just keeps on the ball, doesn't give them space, doesn't give them time, and it allows so much pressure to be put on.
Yeah, and that is a really fun thing to say, considering that both of them are ball chasers, especially RedBot. But it's just King's touches are so much that they accomplish so much more. Here again, another goal, because the ball is actually going towards the right side, not just making it go higher.
And I mean, there was a bit of a bump there from the red bots. I'm not 100% sure. It's not the greatest strategy I've ever seen to get to a ball faster, but right now, I think all they need to be doing is stopping the bleeding that is happening in terms of goals. They are taking hit after hit. No matter what is happening here, it feels like King has all the pressure and all the time, and right now he also has all the goals.
Yeah, and that's 4 goals now. RedBot is struggling to keep the ball away from the goal. And he's just not finding, or he's not having the time to really breathe or take control or anything. There's not a time for a hard clear. King is just constantly shooting on the post, on the bar, whatever it might be.
It's just such incredible shooting. We finally see the first opening for a RedBot goal, and you can see just the level of play here. He sees the opening and it just takes the shot. It's not like King is infallible. It's just that it's so much faster, that these opportunities are so rare and close so quickly that RedBot has to take advantage of them as quickly as that to stand a chance of getting a goal.
Beautiful aerial here from RedBot, and
wait a minute.
wait, King decides to make that into an own goal. So I see he still haven't figured out that bug. It's also something I see in my bot. I don't know if it's a bug, but in this case it's gotten turned into another own goal.
I disagree. I consider that a cool own goal feature. It sees the opportunity for a cool own goal, and it takes it, and that is exactly how you should play Rocket League. That's how I play ranked. My teammates love me for it. You see a cool own goal, you take it. It's the rules.
It doesn't matter which color the goal is, it just has to be a nice goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, I recognize that playstyle. I've done it once. There was one time I got such a good pass from an enemy and I just had to take it. So I know the feeling. RedBot though, scoring another goal. He's not completely out of this match. He just had a bad first half.
Is this just a random number generator? I feel like this just is. I feel like CodeRed's just took a random number generator in both above a certain value, the row, and then it just runs it each time kickoff happens, because frankly that should have been a goal for. But it's one goal right now.
King once again centering it. It's just going back and forth right in front of the goal. Here we finally have the touch that seals the deal. A 5th goal for King. I think that was the 3rd attempt they had here. And they were basically running out of boost.
And I mean, the scary thing to think about here. Okay, given they're both in the upper bracket, granted RedBot hasn't played against Bumblebee yet. But if RedBot plays against Bumblebee, if they lose this game and they win, then it's just going to be this matchup again, which I mean is going to be an incredible matchup, because that's a beautiful double touch that we just witnessed while I was saying that. But still, it wasn't even a double touch, it was just a beautiful layup on the pass.
And
incredible finish.
Beautiful upside down finish. Classic red utils. It's so stylish.
This is the level of the hard-coded bots have made it. I remember the last hard-coded bot match that I did. That must have been what, RLBot 2021 at this point, and that was an incredible showing from the bots back then. But shots like what we've just seen from King, that wouldn't even be something that would just happen in a blue moon by pure accident on a whim that 2 bots have accidentally 50'd, but that looked completely calculated. And I mean, if they can keep up shots like that, I can't see why King won't do well further into the bracket, that being the grand finals at the rate this match is going. But RedBot still isn't out just yet.
No, not just yet. He still has 2 minutes, which is very possible. He's been having some good breakaways from time to time. He just needs a few more of those. Currently though, King with the possession, trying to give or to try to turn it into a good pass. Both of them definitely having more boost than both of the RedBots. Now finally with some movement down to the orange half. The Kings are again trying to figure out a pass here. That one was almost on target. RedBot now shooting it downfield. Oh, that's gonna be a pass to King. Luckily blocked by RedBot. And now they are
just,
on top of each other.
Good showing. Yeah, I mean they're all on top of each other, but it's still such a good showing from both bots so far. I mean, they've made mistakes. Every bot does, every player does, if we're being honest. But when they haven't been making mistakes, they've been taking shots like what was just attempted there, and what was another own goal for King by the looks of that, which was another pretty cool own goal.
Just look at
It's
that.
just shots like that.
Yeah, the way that RedBot follows the ball all the way there. That's so cool.
I mean, I know players in Rocket League who can't even do that, and I mean, I probably can't even do that in Rocket. To be honest, RedBot though, trying to equalize, does get it.
They have equalized.
I mean, I was not expecting it to be this close by the end, but I don't think RedBot's going to come back and win this fully.
I don't know, man. They have been pretty even in the past, so.
CodeRed would hate it though.
CodeRed would hate it, yeah. He would be so mad. And oh, look at that.
Oh.
So
he's got anti-King beating RedBot code. That must be what it is.
Yeah, I definitely think so. King taking a shot on the post, and I think didn't he get a bump there? I'm pretty sure RedBot got bumped into that ball.
No, it didn't look like it.
Okay, he just got bumped right before it then. But he was definitely messed up in his path and turned that into a no-goal. Oh, another shot just on the corner, and King also follows it up. So now, again, King is 2 goals ahead.
And I mean, it's starting to sound a bit more like a broken record, but shots from King, they are beautiful. A self-pass flick into a touch off the backboard straight into the net. Basically a double touch, just without the more aerially part of it. And I mean, how do you compete with this? RedBot is just super. Or Red Utils, I should say, is just seeming like the best Utils right now.
Yeah, I think you are very much right about that. And I think it was Wrangler who also just said a moment ago that this is really just RedBot Championship, not RLBot Championship. RedBot. At this point, all of the other bots have basically been eliminated. There's only Bumblebee left. And we're just trying to figure out who can make the best Red Utils bot.
I mean, this is going to be a funny moment when, I mean, a good shot there. I don't think it's going to be enough. Ooh. This could be a funny moment.
7 seconds.
Where CodeRed holds both first and second place in a tournament potentially.
7 seconds. Can RedBot score here to take this to overtime? It's a super neutral kickoff.
It's exactly the kickoff it needs. It's a shot on target,
no,
but it's off the post.
No!
Will it bounce? Oh my god, that was almost it. I want to watch that back again. That was beautiful. An incredible save.
Damn, they really made it exciting to the end. Okay. But it is going to be King that comes out on top. And I'm sure CodeRed is very happy about that. That got very scary at the end. But
I don't think he's going to be super happy about that.
I mean, he did win, and he was in some way guaranteed to win. So, but hey, I think he has that there are, in this case, children that he loves more than the others.
But that also means now we can see King confirmed in the finals. It's best of 3 finals. It is also a bracket reset if you come from the lower bracket. We haven't made it that far yet. We still have match number 12 and 13, Stardust versus Bumblebee, and the winner of that versus RedBot to decide who makes it to that final. I mean, who are we thinking for this next match, East? Who are we thinking?
I mean, if we're again looking at the seeding, it should be Bumblebee, but Stardust with an incredible update has really made it very strong. And we have seen Stardust losing to Doge now, the second seeded one. So it doesn't seem like it's no, sorry, it didn't lose to Stardust to Doge. It lost to RedBot. So it's not. I don't know. I wouldn't say it could beat Bumblebee. I don't think we can take it that far. So in my case, I'm probably going to root for B here, but I am also expecting to be surprised, or at least see a lot more even match than initially anticipated.
Definitely. I mean, I can't say for sure that I am going to really feel like anyone other than Bumblebee is going to make this, but because I mean we all know Bumblebee's coming second, so
Exactly.
I said Duck would beat Bumblebee. I was wrong. Bumblebee's coming second.
And here we have the match starting. It's a super neutral kickoff. Bumblebee first to make the contact here. Now Stardust trying to move upfield. Oh, Bumblebee, that's a really bad touch. Stardust
Oh, no.
gets the first goal only 12 seconds in. Of a complete mistouch of Bumblebee here. I think he was trying to save it, but it just made it even worse.
I was about to say it wasn't on target, and then Bumblebee was like, "Here, have this perfectly center of the net. You can take a bit of a lead. Maybe Bumblebee feels like it can win the match easily, and is just giving it a bit of hope. But I don't think this late into the competition with bots this good, you should be playing with fire like that, Bumblebee.
Yeah, I don't think at this point it's it should be illegal to underestimate your opponents, because we are getting to the top 4 bots now.
Definitely, yeah. This is the match for 4th place, isn't it? So
exactly.
Whoever, or technically the match for not getting 4th place. Whoever loses this gets 4th place. You don't want to lose it, so you don't really want it to be the match for 4th place. But
we have a Bumblebee stuck on the post. I've never seen that before, but it is completely stuck, as a Psionics bot would be it.
Can we switch to Bumblebee 1 cam, just for the replay that we're about to see?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see Bumblebee 1 cam. Yeah, he's just loving it on the post.
He's just sitting here. I think his wheel is stuck. I've never seen this happen before.
It's definitely a strategy. It's not one that seems to be working, as Bumblebee now 2-0 down. Are we sure this is Bumblebee playing right now?
I mean, that is a classic Psionics All-Star move. Actually, I think All-Star might have do it better, as Robbie says in chat. An All-Star would go down from such a wall. So another surprising move by Bumblebee. So Stardust is actually in the lead. Not according to my prediction.
No, it's not according. I mean, I would have gone for Stardust. Maybe I've accidentally cursed Bumblebee, but Stardust unable to make the save. They got a bit confused. I was about to say maybe I've cursed Bumblebee by predicting it to win, but it's managed to bring another goal back. Maybe it's figured out whatever was going on, and it might be able to come back here. But right now, Stardust maintaining that 1-goal lead. I don't know if Bumblebee keeps throwing, then Stardust could quite easily come back here, but it's just on how Bumblebee plays out this remaining 3 minutes and 15 seconds or so.
Yeah, we have only 3 minutes left, as we have another long shot from Bumblebee, and that's going to tie it up. This could be anyone's game at this point. You know, when I saw the bracket for the hard-coded bots, I was actually thinking, I don't think this is gonna be super exciting. We already know who's gonna win, don't we? But no, it's just, this is everything I did not see. We have a crazy update to Starbucks. We have Bumblebee in the losers bracket. Stardust now beating Bumblebee. Oh, okay, maybe that's too early to call it, but he is free too.
That's how rigged it is. He's got the script, everyone. He's got the script.
Don't tell him. No, this is not my script, if I had to write it. Though it is a lot more exciting.
I mean, it's definitely showing. I was worried we'd get a similar thing to the previous championship, where machine learning and hard-coded bots were allowed together back when Necto and Nexto were relatively new, where they basically just stormed the entire bracket. Luckily here, as you've said, it's been way different to A, how the seeding put it, and B, just how even after the seeding was wrong. Even when we made predictions, they've come out horribly wrong, when it seems like it should just be an obvious answer as to who's going to win here.
Bumblebee up here making another attack on the orange goal. Bumblebee shooting it away, but another Stardust is ready. And oh, that was an interesting attempt at a shot. That should have been super light. And now Stardust is just went too far up the field, making that an easy own goal, or not an own goal, a long shot from Bumblebee. Exactly what he is good at.
I mean, it's been working wonders so far. I mean, it's just such a matchup here that, like, you can see both bots, as you've said, are good in different aspects of the game. Bumblebee with the long shots, also seeming like it's pretty good at aiming for its own net on a couple of these touches, but Stardust not to be counted out with rebound shots off the post like that. But I mean, so far Stardust winning in the close-up match, Bumblebee winning in the long-range match. It's whether Stardust can keep close to that ball that basically will decide this game, I think.
Yeah, I think you are right about that. And this kickoff goes to Stardust's favor. We are immediately on the orange half. Never mind, we are now rolling back to the blue half, and I think Bumblebee could have followed that up and scored. No, he's gonna do it now instead. Interesting. Why not wait till the blue bots go back? Okay.
Deals more emotional damage to them. That's
Exactly.
That's what you gotta think. You've got to break them bots down one by one, make them feel the pain.
4-4. What a close match.
I mean, yeah, it seemed like all of the matches from the upper finals to the lower semi-finals. I mean, hopefully the lower finals is going to be as close as this, as another shot just about cleared. It's heating up in front of this blue net, but it is whether Bumblebee wins in the close match, because we've seen so far it hasn't performed as well as Stardust. It aims for the long shots. It's been nailing the long shots, but whenever it's been close up like this, it hasn't managed. But for once it does, and it has finally gained a bit of a lead here.
Is that the first time we're seeing Bumblebee in the lead? I think it might be. It's just
someone will correct us, but I think so.
Yeah, but I think Stardust has just had the lead and then tied, and then we had a lead and then tied. So yeah. But as you're also saying, Bumblebee is really nailing the long shots. I mean, it's not even that it's doing bad on the close shots. It's just somehow Stardust keeps saving all of them. Okay, except
As
that
you
one.
say that.
Yeah, okay, I can just jinx everything tonight. So, never mind. But so far, at least, it's not. Bumblebee is strong. As long as Bumblebee has space, it is such a terrible or terrific force, and you wanna look out for it.
And I mean, that being said, it is 2 goals down right now, 1 goal down right now, as I was saying. Definitely didn't say 2 goals. It is still completely in the match, even after Bumblebee gaining that 2-goal lead. There is nothing stopping Stardust from coming back in. And for a lower semi-final, this is incredibly close. And if Stardust wins this next kickoff well enough that it can gain a strong attack off it, it could definitely equalize and just be basically 40 seconds for a normal Rocket League match. But a mistake there could allow Bumblebee to get the 2-goal lead.
Oh, that's a grave mistake here. The one Stardust pushing the other Stardust on the wall, making them both return late to save that shot. A 2-goal lead, yeah, this could be what seals the deal, and Bumblebee now it's pretty favorable in my opinion.
I mean, Stardust has that first goal scored kind of bonus though, and that definitely will help it manage to get back in as it hits one off the post. The second Stardust isn't there, and I think that touch has solidified the win. I don't know how good the other Stardust is going to do in defense. It hit the post, or the crossbar, sorry. Luckily for Bumblebee, it's not enough to prevent the goal from going in. And with 16 seconds left, I don't think Stardust can score fast enough to get a win here.
Yeah, definitely. I think we found the winner of this match. But man, that was pretty much close to the very end. And it looked like it could be Stardust that was going to win that one for basically the entire first half.
Definitely, Stardust had the offense. It just started messing up on the defense towards the end of that match. But an incredible match all round, an incredible performance from Stardust, especially after having such a major change so late on. Both Bumblebees flexing hard with that win, and I mean, you can't blame them. They came back, they beat the odds, they've made it into the lower finals, but they could still be knocked out here, so they've got to be careful.
Yeah, what an incredible feat, rewriting your entire bot here this late into the tournament, and then being this close with Bumblebee. Well done. That's all I have to say, just well done. It's not often we see a bot reach this level, so the fact that it happened in such a short time, amazing.
And I mean, we're still on track for Bumblebee to make it into that second place spot, as we all know Bumblebee is going to get no matter what.
At least according to the curse, yeah.
That is, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Darxeal will be completely mentally prepared for it already. Second place coming your way, Darxeal, don't you worry. But I mean, the prediction is now up: Bumblebee versus RedBot. RedBot taking King to a single goal game, literally last second heroics, almost taking it to an overtime. And I mean, how's RedBot going to do against Bumblebee, a bot that lost 6-2 against King? I mean, it seems like RedBot should win this, but at the same time, RedBot does well against King, but will it do well against Bumblebee?
Yeah, it's not easy because it's not just it's not a linear, I don't know, scale here. It's more like rock paper scissors. You can't just say that this bot wins over this bot because this bot wins over this bot. But no, this is rock paper scissors. Some playstyles is just more effective against, yeah, transitive. That's the word I was looking for. It's not transitive. Sometimes playstyles just work better against certain playstyles than others, and that means, yeah, really depending on where the bot started in the bracket, we can see very different results. And in this case though, RedBot is always doing great against King somehow. I don't understand why, but I think Bumblebee is pretty consistent at beating RedBot, at least. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say consistently, but Bumblebee can definitely beat Bumblebee. I think that's what we are seeing the most often.
Did you just say Bumblebee can beat Bumblebee? I hope so.
I have no idea if that's what I said. I meant Bumblebee beating RedBot, of course. So yeah, I think that's what we're seeing most of the time. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we will have an upset, and it goes the other way, because I mean, with today's matches, anything could happen. It really feels like anything could happen.
Definitely, and this was the one match that I couldn't, even with a different list of bots, I could still not make a prediction for the lower semi-finals ahead of time. I had Duck versus King as the semi-finals. It's not exactly Duck versus King. It is Bumblebee versus RedBot, and as the match gets underway, it started out pretty heavily in favor of RedBot, but it's no goal yet, which means that, quite frankly, no opening lead for either bot. But right now, I think pressure shows us exactly which bot holds the edge at the start of this game.
Yeah, RedBot is pushing on here, trying to put up some pressure on the blue half, doing pretty well so far. Bumblebee also doing well, keeping it out of the goal. I think we might have the clear here. Yep, we have Bumblebee in the air, taking a shot on the orange goal, and the RedBots are just caught upfield. No boost after that attack, so it just goes straight in. Bumblebee in the lead.
And I mean, the important thing to note, while this match confirms who's third place, I don't want to say it confirms who's second place, but if Bumblebee wins this, Bumblebee's already lost 6-2 to King. So how can that not necessarily change, but that's not a close loss, unlike RedBot versus King. That is being bullied down into the lower bracket kind of loss, and I don't know how Bumblebee could make up for that if it makes it into that grand finals.
Yeah, King's victory against B was very convincing with his new playstyle, but maybe it was a fluke, because Bumblebee is very strong, and we see here Bumblebee beating RedBot with a pretty good opener here in the first minute.
Definitely. I mean, 2 goals in a minute puts it basically a mercy rule by 0 seconds, but I don't think we are going to reach the point of a mercy rule. I mean, RedBot is an incredible bot. It can definitely score a goal unless it tackles itself like we've just watched it do there. And if it doesn't be careful here, it's going to be stuck retreating for most of the remainder of this play as a shot sent slightly wide there by Bumblebee. It's not what they want to see to get an edge back into this, or a further lead into this game, I should say. And I think we're finally starting to calm down a bit after that initial 2-goal frenzy from Bumblebee.
Yeah, 45 seconds has passed by again, and this time there has been no goals. We've been a bit more up, back and forth on the entire field. Bumblebee's out of boost here. They're really just fighting to have control and keeping control of that ball now. We are on the orange half. Bumblebee coming in with full boost. This could be dangerous. The RedBots are not really going for boost. It's also an important detail here. It's always luck whenever they pick it up, and they do much better when they have it.
I mean, here's the thing that I've noticed while watching Bumblebee, at least in this match. You saw in the play just before the one that ended in the goal, there was a Bumblebee slammed it into the wall. It had the open net, but it decided to retreat back. And I think it is that exact maneuver that has given King the edge, because in that exact same scenario, I'm solidly sure on betting the King that slammed it into the wall would then turn back in and be the one to take the shot, allowing it to be taken much faster, much more dangerous, and so much closer to that net, which right now, Bumblebee winning against RedBot, but it's still not putting on what I would consider a convincing victory, or a victory that's good enough to convince me that it stands a massive chance against King.
Yeah, RedBot have burning all of its boost again to finally get onto the scoreboard. It took a lot of effort, but it made it. We have 2 minutes and 12 seconds left.
We have our opportunity for that first Brazil. I mean, we can definitely make it there so long as Bumblebee remembers how to defend. It has done that successfully, and a mistake from a RedBot opens up that entire backfield.
Yeah.
Bumblebee takes this shot, and it's a similar situation where I think King may have pushed in there, whereas Bumblebee decides to pull out, and because of that, it's another goal that could have been that ends up not being.
And that's a goal for Bumblebee. You know, it's always when we are talking about it.
I mean, is it a RedBot or a CodeRed bot if it doesn't own goal at some point in the match?
Exactly. A neutral kick-off. RedBot rushes to the ball. He has no boost. Bumblebee, I don't think he had any boost either, but he does make a better shot of it. We are now on the orange half. RedBots are up, burning their boost to get downfield. Bumblebee, oh, he gets past Bumblebee. The other RedBot follows up and scores that goal.
And it is that readjustment. Bumblebee had the ball red, was ready for it, and then RedBot just tapped it, and it was enough to throw off Bumblebee. It didn't want to jump for it anymore, didn't want to risk it, and because of that, no Bumblebee left back, no one there to block the easy open net shot that was left for RedBot, and there's 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and because of that shot there that I didn't think was actually going to be in, RedBot's brought it within 1.
What a shot. And CodeRed asks, why is that what I'm known for? Yeah.
I mean,
good question.
Someone's got to be known for own goaling. It just so happens that your bot is the best at doing it.
It always just looks so confident while it's doing it. I think that's the problem.
It's the confidence, but it's also the impressiveness of the own goals.
Yeah.
It seems like whenever it own goals, it's always like a double touch, a beautiful backboard read, something like that. It's always something nice when it goes in its own net. Bumblebee brought it back to 2-goal lead there while we were saying that. But yeah, I mean, all of your bots just own goal so nicely. It's great.
Another neutral kickoff. I think we are just seeing the same scenario here play out again and again. RedBot rushes to the ball. This time, okay, the other RedBot actually makes it to the ball first instead of the Bumblebee. Otherwise, in the other scenarios, it has been Bumblebee who made that one first and got best off of the kickoff.
And this just shows exactly the strategy that seems to work against Bumblebee. It's those fast aerial. It's the just making those adjustments while Bumblebee isn't able to read it. That has been working so well for all of the bots that have done close games against Bumblebee. They've moved fast. They've played fast. They've made minuscule touches that just change the trajectory enough to throw off Bumblebee. And it's touches like that that just, when it throws off the Bumblebee, it gets confused and there's no one left to defend. I mean,
it's about
I'm
just
not sure what that was.
Don't give Bumblebee space. And then also whatever this is.
Don't give Bumblebee space. Also, let it do what it do in defense.
I think there was a this is in my turning radius. There's no way I can get to this one. And it just got paralyzed by it.
Poor Bumblebee, and that's a bump shot. I forgot the word pull shot for a certain moment then, called it a bump shot. Bumblebee appears to have switched teams.
No, what is happening?
I'm not. He's pinched it middle. RedBot hit it towards the net. Bumblebee finished it into the net for sure.
Okay, this is not the time for this to happen. 12 seconds remaining and now suddenly RedBot is in the lead.
I mean, Bumblebee might not get the second place here. That is a scary thought. There is 7 seconds left. Bumblebee needs to get the attack going now.
Long shot,
hit the ball. Go for it, Bumblebee. You haven't gone for it. Luckily, it's gone up.
It's in the air.
I don't know how that...
But no.
That is game.
That's game. RedBot comes out on top. Just at the very end, he just gets the lead. Man.
How does that happen?
I'm not even sure, man. I was so confident that Beast was going to win this. With a 2 lead there early on, it was looking easy. But then everything changed.
I mean, all I've got now, one simple question, okay? CodeRed, which one of your 2 bots do you want to come first and which one do you want to come second?
Also, congratulations.
I'm also going to change this this prediction slightly, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to say, will it be a bracket reset?
I mean, that's just the same question, but with different words.
It is, but it also implies, because obviously you can say which one do you think is going to win, but I feel like that goes over the entire thing, whereas this one is saying, do we think it is possible for a bracket reset, or do we think it's just going to be a king absolute domination?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, this is going to be a free games, best of 3 series. So King is gonna have he's gonna have to win twice in order to win this one. RedBot also is gonna have to win twice in order to show that he is better than King. And we already seen here in the previous match that King wins, but it was a very close match. So who knows where all of these games are gonna go. And if RedBot wins 2 of them, then there's gonna be a bracket reset and we're going into a grand final. It's also gonna be a best of 3. I can't change the link for it right now due to how this program works, but just keep in mind that's also gonna be best of 3. So that's a chance we're going to see up to 6 games in a row here. But maybe it turns out short and it's only 2 King wins and then we have our champion.
I mean, I will say, you said you can't change the bracket reset one. If only we knew who the dev of this program was and could ask them to make it work. You know?
Yeah. If only this dev was actually doing his job. Anyway, let's get into the series. The match has, or the prediction has finished.
It is heavily in favor. King is basically the chat's favourite to win without the bracket reset. What do we think, chat? Put the ending score that you think the first best of 3 will be, even if you think there's only going to be one. What do you think the overall series score is going to be if RedBot gets its first goal?
I'm gonna help everyone a bit. It's not going to be 0 points to RedBot, because RedBot has already scored the first goal. 15 seconds in, and he is not making it easy for King.
Definitely not. He's got a pretty good start. CodeRed said he would eat his socks if RedBot somehow beats King. So just putting that out there, I have read that message. There's no going back on that anymore, CodeRed. So hopefully for you, King will really win this. And I mean, it's equalized at the very least.
Wait, did I miss a message? Yeah, like if RedBot wins somehow, he's gonna eat his socks. Okay.
Yeah.
The stakes are high.
I mean, I want RedBot to win now. Can we rig it so that RedBot wins this?
Yes, but we are not going to. We're going to find a real champion here.
CodeRed is the real champion here. What do you mean?
True. But at least find out who's the bot who's going to represent him as the champion. CodeRed's here, crashing into each other. We're getting close to the orange goal, but they just managed to turn it away in the last second here.
I mean, this is some of the most scrappy gameplay I think I've seen from any of the bots so far. They are all just together, piled on that ball. The thing about King, it likes taking its shot by rolling it up the backboard or sending it that way. But because they both use the same utilities, they both read it exactly the same. And so it can be so easily intercepted. Yeah,
so another thing to note is that this is peak hard-coded bot, what you're watching right now. So while it might look scrappy and all, it's just because they're playing the same, and this is what works the best.
And I mean, what a beautiful shot was taken just there. Jumped up in the air, aerialed backwards to get back behind that ball and just tap it over the line very slowly. I mean, it just shows the level of shot that King keeps taking. It's done this, not necessarily that shot, but just taken shots like it so consistently throughout this entire night that, I mean, it definitely deserves the win if it gets it.
Oh, another good shot here. Basically, another aerial again, upside down as we know them. Off a just miss touch from RedBot. And as Redux also suggests in chat right now, I was just thinking about it. We should probably put King or whoever wins against the old champions like Camel and SDC. That is something that's gonna be very interesting to see if King has reached the point where he can beat those guys as well.
Definitely, although I do have a question. CodeRed, I'm assuming you're still in chat. We keep mentioning the upside down aerials. Is there a specific reason for it to upside down aerial, or is it just because it looks cool?
I mean, it could be both. Who knows?
Could be both. I mean, it just seems to upside down aerial all the time, and I mean, there's no reason. There doesn't seem to be a reason for it to upside down aerial, but it passes beautifully as we've just seen. Drops it down. I probably was already in, but it's just that finishing touch to really nail it home.
Yeah, man, this is the finals now. We cannot take any more risks. And it also looks like it's not as close as the previous match we had with these two bots. This time King has a very comfortable lead of 4 goals. RedBot though, still fighting in this game, trying to just get one more. Make it another close match.
What happened in that other one, or what is happening in this one to give King such a dominating lead? Because even with that goal, it feels like it just feels like King has that edge, and there's nothing that RedBot can do to really stop it right now.
Okay, we are past the half mark and King is now in the lead with 2 goals. King coming best out of this kickoff with some pressure on the orange goal. Now we're going back to the blue half. RedBot takes a shot, but he's challenged and blocked by King. Now we're going back to the red half. King in the corner. Goes up. Both the bots are flying. 3 bots are flying. King somehow 2v1 in the air managed to score that one.
That's a beautiful double touch. Didn't touch the ground whatsoever. Aerial got the touch, flew it along and just slapped it into that corner. And this is why King is my new favorite bot.
I mean, that's very understandable. He's looking better than ever.
Such a cool playstyle to play with. It just gets... Wait, was that no goal?
No, I don't think it was. It was King making a backboard and then in again.
I just took the... just looked like it from the angle that the camera was on.
Yeah.
It was so close. But yeah, no, it's just such an incredible style of play. It just dominates really more than anything against quite a few of the bots. It struggled a bit against CodeRed RedBot last time. But this time... It is on fire. It is destroying, and I don't see any chance of it stopping right now.
Yeah, I think this game is pretty much over, and the RedBot is just gonna have to try again in the next one. But he does have a very limited amount of chances. 2 wins to King, and then King is the champion. And with 6 goals, yeah, this game is just going even more in King's favor.
See,
6 goal lead.
Usually when we have matches like this where it's such a dominating lead, it's quite boring to watch because all the goals are the same, but it just seems like in this matchup it's still super one-sided. We know King is winning at least this game, but they're still both taking incredible shots and having great opportunities that, like shots like that, I mean it was no goal by King,
yeah.
But it could have been incredible. And I mean, this is why RedBot or CodeRed. This is why it's the own goal king, or I guess RedBot's the own goal king, or King's the own goal king. I don't know. They both are. They both do incredible own goals.
I mean, we are almost getting to a mercy here, and this is the finals. What's happening? I think RedBot might just be slacking.
Yeah, he's just. I mean, he's given up. I don't blame him. He is 6 goals down. But someone in chat saying this makes them happy that they'll have plenty of matches in the machine learning ones. And I mean, this is exactly the thing to think about. These bots, they score incredible goals, and basically all of them have lost to, or the equivalent of all of them. I don't know how the new King faces up against the lowest machine learning, but the first seed heading into this of Bumblebee lost to the 8th seed in the machine learning one. So that just really shows the difference in skill and potentially the difference in shot taking that we will see in the machine learning bracket tomorrow.
I think we'll definitely also see a very different play style. One that's much more based on ground play and dribbles, though they have also learned to aerial now that it's 2s. But positioning and stuff like that is also going to be very different. And we should probably do a show match against those as well. Oh, that's unfortunate. King
what a save!
King saves that shot by the other King by just falling down from the ceiling after an earlier touch.
I mean, King just really showing it can do everything on the field. It can shoot in both nets, it can save in both nets. What more does King need to do?
I mean, it needs to win one more game. That's about it.
That is very true, and we are edging very, very close now to that final just match. I mean, it's potentially this next one. If RedBot can figure it out, it could be one more. I don't think we're going to get a bracket reset personally. Chat doesn't think we're going to get a bracket reset. CodeRed is hoping for no bracket reset because that would give him the opportunity to eat his own socks. And I mean, between us, I don't think RedBot has it in him to make the bracket reset here.
Yeah, this match was definitely a much more convincing match in King's favor. at least in relation to the previous one that we had. And now King just needs to do it one more time. He's done it twice. One more time and he is the champion.
Yeah, I mean, he starts out on the attack pretty well as well here. He hasn't got a goal, but already in that orange half. And, I mean, it's going back to his own half, but when it does, it seems like he has the possession, which is exactly what he needs.
Both bots up to fight for that one. King still with possession and putting under pressure here. He's gonna lob that one up for the other king. Oh, what a beautiful pass.
It is, yeah, it's just, like I said, it's the level of passing between them. I don't know whether they're specifically designed to make moves like that. I mean, CodeRed's in chat, he can confirm. Do they, like, decide they're going to pass like that, or does one of them just flick it and the other one just reacts and gets the nice goals like this?
He did just say that the king has a new logo, so now just have a gonna look at that. Oh god, that does not look like a king, that looks like a beast. I'm gonna have to show that one afterwards. It's also a very shame that we are not going to see Ragnarok's logo, yes, as Judgy points out, because it's amazing. I'll put that up somewhere differently. King, a second goal, 1 minute in.
Yeah, it's turning into game number 1 all over again. CodeRed's gonna be happy. He says they don't purposefully pass.
Wait, they don't purposely pass at all?
That makes it quite impressive if it's accidentally passing like that to itself.
What? Because there's definitely... It looks like there's passes all over the place, especially in the game against Bumblebee. That looks so much back and forth, like they were just taking opportunities right off each other.
Let me swap the bracket in Twitch so that I can actually read the chat faster. I mean, that makes it even more impressive, some of the goals that have come out of this, if they don't actually aim to pass to each other. Because quite frankly, some of those pass-ups and just other moves, if they're just, I guess, implicit rather than actually something it's aiming for, it doesn't pass directly to its teammates, so it does center, okay. That makes, I mean, that's still impressive because it works so well as a passing opportunity, but some of the passing plays being just completely implicit and the bot just doing its thing it's quite impressive anyway.
Yeah, but I think that might also be the right way to do it, because if you're trying to aim for your teammates and stuff, then you have to try to understand what your teammate is doing, and it might be a different bot. It's not always going to be King that's your teammate. So just going for a general center and then hope the other teammate is a bot that will move up and follow up on that shot. That might be the right play that is going to work in most cases.
And there's also the other part of, it seems like King is a bot all too happy to cut in as the first man after it's already made the touch. So it does the pass, hopes the teammate's there, and if the teammate isn't there, it basically just receives its own pass.
Yeah, it can follow up on its own shots.
Ooh, but what it can't do is stop that shot from RedBot, and it is beautifully placed between both of the kings, and this is much closer, like we saw in that first RedBot King matchup. I mean, who knows how this could turn out from here. Yeah,
2-2, it's even so far, and we're halfway there. So, who knows? Maybe RedBot just maybe he really just had given up on the first game, who knows?
Yeah, and I mean, it was almost the opportunity for the lead to go in favor of RedBot, but right now it's still, yeah, I mean, it's gone in favor of RedBot now. I don't know if they can hold it, but they're definitely showing, even though King won that last one like what, 9-3, they're still in the match.
Yeah, definitely. This is a very different game than the last one, though we do see King being again the most confident with the touches, or the most he accomplishes the most with his touches, as I also said before, while RedBot is just mostly chasing the ball, popping it up here and down, and trying to force its way to the blue half. King, on the other hand, very stylish with his shot, and Again, that looks so much like a pass. That's but I guess it is just a center. So if it can't hit the goal, it just hits the backboard, and then somebody else has to clean it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, how does it work that it goes for the backboard, like you said, and then slams it onto the backboard, but the other one's just sat there watching it and like, yeah, I know where this is going. I'm ready for it. Why not? And it's just working wonders.
Okay, we have King back in the lead again. 1 minute and 34 seconds remaining. We are getting pretty close to a quite important moment here.
Yeah, it is. I was about to say, going off that last one, it was close to now when it got equalised, and then there was that goal right near the end before it finally went to that crossbar and outshot in the previous upper finals that they met. Right now, King, I think, trying to avoid that wherever possible. You wouldn't want to be in that same situation of almost going to an overtime. It would be interesting for the first overtime of this entire tournament to be in the upper final, or in the grand final, sorry. But King getting a beautiful read on the touch off RedBot, getting it into the goal and bringing it back up to a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This goal is gonna be so important now. With a 2-goal lead, King is... Oh, he's of course not totally safe, but he is going into the last minute very confidently.
And I think it was almost even more confidently there as it got the incredibly strong kickoff. RedBot has possession but doesn't have control of the ball, and that is going to allow King another opportunity to take a shot. Luckily for King, it pulls out before it can actually go for it because RedBot had it completely covered, and we are so close to the blue goal line, and it's an own goal pinch that brings it back within one with 40 seconds left.
I'm pretty sure just right before here that RedBot makes that touch, one King was also trying to pass it to the right side of the goal, but the other King blocked it, so it became a left side instead. I don't know if that shot was even going to be a save, so I don't know, that looks a bit fun. I think King might be a bit stressed here, but he still managed to pull together once again. A 6th goal, a 2-goal lead again.
He just recovered so fast out of that net. He just landed and was like, yep, that's mine, thanks.
How did he score from that angle? He came from inside the goal.
He doesn't care where the ball is. He doesn't care where he is. He just sees a ball, sees a net, and he's like, don't mind if I do. It's a goal for me. I'm going to win this series.
The bot who can make an area from every angle.
It's beautifully played. Shame it couldn't be the 3-goal lead here. But with 20 seconds left, shot after shot being taken. They're not on target at the moment, but they don't need to be. With 10 seconds left, it is all but over. They attempt the pin shot, don't manage to get it. But as time slowly runs out, it is all but over in this series, in this game. It doesn't cross the line, and it is a 9-3, 6-4, 2-0 in games. King has won the hard-coded championships for RLBot 2023.
Oh my god, and what an ending. The ball landing right on the goal line. What is that? I think that's a very fitting ending to really nail and show how close RedBot were at times. But still, in the end, it is King who comes out on top. Congratulations, CodeRed. You got both the 1st and the 2nd place, and on our 3rd place we have Bumblebee. 4th place is going to be Stardust, and from there it's a lot of evens. So congratulations to everyone who also just made it into the finals. Man, that was a good bracket.
I was about to say, I got a bit nervous at the start when we had those 3 10-0 wins. We had the 6-0 from Duck a bit later on. But as soon as we passed that 6-0 from Duck, I think the only game that didn't feel like it was super close was Duck versus Bumblebee, because Bumblebee held such a thing. But all the other matches, it could have gone either way at the start, maybe not so much towards the end, especially not King versus RedBot 9-3. Every other King versus RedBot, every other King versus a different bot. It was such a close series. RedBot fought well, came just short of King. Bumblebee, unluckily, third place due to coming just short from RedBot, as you've said. But either way, congratulations to everyone who took part in this top 8 and everyone who took part in the bubble sort that led to it.
Yeah, I'm really happy we split the brackets up in both a hard-coded and machine learning, because this bracket just shows that hard-coded is really, it's still fun, it can still be amazing, we can still have surprises in here even though we've been making hard-coded bots for so long. So this actually turned out to be so exciting. I'm very happy about that.
Definitely, and I was glad to be here with you. As Wrangler's already said, thank you for hosting this entire thing, East.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it. We're not done. There's more tomorrow.
That is very true,
But
but
yeah,
I believe this is the last you'll see of me, though.
That is the case, yeah. Thank you so much for helping me casting. Thank you to the other bots who've been helping me casting with the hard-coded. We still have 2 more casters coming by tomorrow. That is CodeRed himself and also H. So tomorrow I guess I can just ask him how he feels about winning the hard-coded bracket and all of that stuff. We might as well wait for that because it's gonna be better. Oh yeah, and he asked me if I could show the logo on stream. Let's do that. Where is it? I had it right here.
Let's see this logo.
Where's my bottom? I think it's that one.
That's a beautiful. Is that?
I think it's some kind of demon. I saw in chat they were talking about a reference to a thing. I don't remember what this is that it's a reference to.
It's a crying demon dog with Godzilla breath. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is. I'm sure that is exactly what it's supposed to be.
Owl House, they called it. I don't know what Owl House is.
Let me search up Owl House.
But yeah, King is not only a king, he's also a demon, and now he is also a champion of the hard-coded bots. So I don't know. This makes him more scary for sure. A cartoon show,
Definitely.
okay. Final episode. But yeah, we have reached the end of the hard-coded bracket. We have our champion. Again, congratulations. I think we shall do what is tradition and then put it against... I mean, I think actually the tradition is to put it against a human, but in this case we can also put it against the previous hard-coded champion, or SDC, the previous hard-coded champion. And I really want to see how they do against those bots, because they weren't able to participate here.
Definitely, but I do have to leave you now, so...
Yeah, that is fine. I'll do the casting myself.
Enjoy
this is
yourself.
Yeah, but this is basically a bonus match anyway, so yeah, the show is somewhat over. It's just going to be a bit of a fun here before we end the stream completely.
But yeah, enjoy yourself, and I'll see everyone else around, but goodbye.
Yes, thank you again for helping me. Goodbye.
Anytime.
And hello, Redux. So, who should we start with? Self-driving car or camel? What are you most excited about? Let me just turn this one off, by the way, in case it's gonna mess with me. I see 1 SDC, I see 2 Camel. Oh, now there's more coming in. Yeah, I think Camel first would be the proper way to do it. So what is the newest version of Camel I have? Or rather, where do I find it? There's a lot of folders to look through. Should have planned this. ...2020, I don't have the 2021 for some reason. But there should exist a tournament version of Camille somewhere. Guess it's in League Play. That would be my best guess. I think that's the newest version I got. So let's pull that one. Oh, it needs to click apply, sorry. League Play. Apply. Now there's a ton more bots, but at least we should have a camel in here. Let that be orange, and then we are going to have our newest version of King with the logo. Oh, and CodeRed wants to join. Yeah, let's go, let's do it. I think you can join the channel, the casting booth. Oh, I just showed off all of the hidden channels. What am I doing? Leaked. Yeah, you saw nothing. But yeah, join the casting booth anytime and help me cast. That would be amazing.
Oh.
Hey, welcome to the casting booth.
I'm here.
Congratulations.
Dude.
What a
Oh my God.
Yeah, what just happened? What's going through your mind right now?
I'm just so happy it wasn't worse. I was so worried. I was up till actually 4 a.m. last night working on it. Which
Wow.
The submission deadline was 5 a.m. my time.
Oh
So,
shit, yeah.
Yeah, and I spent about 3 hours on a version I didn't end up submitting. But in that version, I discovered that boost bug and some other stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm going to revert to an old version that's better. And I'm going to bring those changes with it and submit that. And I tested against Bumblebee, and it did better than Bumblebee, but only slightly, which is crazy that it did so well in the tournament. And then I submitted it just hoping that I didn't even test it against RedBot. I had no idea whether or not it would be better. I figured if it was better than Bumblebee, it should be better than RedBot. But also...
Oh yeah, I thought you said though that it was going to be better than RedBot, or at least that was the...
Well, I tested so, like I said, I was working on a different version of... King. That one was more defensive, and it beat RedBot 1.5 to 1.
Yeah.
But then it was really bad against Bumblebee. And I was like, okay, well, I want it to be Bumblebee. So I switched to a different version. And that version, after some changes, beat Bumblebee by 25 to 20 after a 20-minute match or something like that. And then I didn't even test it against RedBot because it was so late at that point. I was just like, I'm submitting this version. It's better than Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be better than RedBot.
I mean,
it was.
It looks like that was the right thing to do. And yeah, Bumblebee as the strongest bot. I mean, having an upper hand against that is probably going to just pay off in general.
Yeah. But, oh my God, I'm so happy that happened, because I was just so worried that... Because, the last week of the Bubble Sword,
yeah.
I updated King to almost the version that we have here. I only edited it slightly since that version. And that version lost against RedBot. And I was like... I was so mad when I lost last Bubble Sort, because I worked hard on that version out and just did worse, even though it did better in testing. I was like, what? But then it was first to 4 in Bubble Sort, to be fair. So
King's
get a good...
King's match history against RedBot is really weird. It's really going up and down, and it's so good to see that it's finally showing off that it can win somewhat consistently with 3 wins in this bracket. So
yeah, that's true.
I think you might have found the version that works.
Consistently beats it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the bot pack version of King, I think, also consistently beats the bot pack version of RedBot, to be fair. But I don't know if bot pack... That's why I was saying that this version of King, I don't know if it's actually that much better than bot pack. but it does have some new extra stuff, so I would rather have it in the bot pack than the other version, but I should probably test it before submitting it. But I'm so happy that it did so well, and I'm a little, like, I'm happy that both of my bots were first and second, but also, I think it would have been more entertaining to see a Bumblebee King finale, because even though it won 6-2, in testing it was quite closer than that, and I think it was possible that Bumblebee could have taken a game. And that would have been really cool to see if Bumblebee make like a almost comeback. I don't think Bumblebee would have won, because in testing King did beat Bumblebee, but it was very close.
Yeah, we expected Bumblebee in the finals, so it was weird being.
Have RedBot,
it wasn't even there. It was RedBot. How?
I don't know. RedBot popped off somehow.
But I just want to point out the match we are watching right now. You're winning against Kamel.
I am. We're winning against Kamel. That's true.
I mean, Kamel is also known to be
against Kamel in so long. That used to be like my standard, the bot I would always test against back when Kamel was the 1v1 champion.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if we have the newest Kamel here, but I think it's the newest that I have.
This is crazy that it's beating it so badly, actually.
Yeah, so the fact that you're winning here, you might have just hit something that's incredible.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I know, I still judge my own bots very harshly when I watch it play, and obviously it's like, there's still obviously big mistakes like own goals and like just clear rotation mistakes. Just like, why are you so far upfield? But at this point, I don't want to work on King anymore. The code is actually just a complete mess. I just want to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Move on to better things. Maybe I will work on a machine learning bot. I don't know.
Yeah, that's... I can only imagine how much of a mess it is. I mean, I feel like it breaks down so fast once you add strategy, because it's just exceptions and I don't know. Then there's the rotations and then magic numbers everywhere. It gets so ugly so fast.
Yep. Yeah. Machine learning bot would be a lot easier in that respect.
Yeah.
Just figure out the rewards and I'll test those out for a while. And I don't I want to do a machine learning bot. I don't know if I want to still be the hard-coded person. I still want to do more hard-code bots in the future, but at least for now, I'm actually probably going to take a break because I'm in college right now, and this was I was should have been doing homework last night, honestly.
I can hear you have your priorities right, so...
yeah, I got my priorities perfectly straight.
Yep, and there's going to be probably a year until the next tournament, so you can definitely take a good break now.
That's true.
Focus on college. And you come out of this with an incredible achievement. I'm just gonna have to check this Kamel version, because what is happening in this match?
I want to see it get... What? Yeah, where's the Kamel going? One of them I saw was bumping a lot, which I thought was only behavior for when there's more than 3 Kamels.
Yeah, I also saw them going for demos.
Where are they
here,
going?
Yeah.
They're just leaving. They leave the net.
This might be a very aggressive version. Let's try the bot
this
pack
is actually
version.
What's the really aggressive?
Raphael.
Raphael, yeah, maybe it's that in disguising itself as Camille or Kamel or however.
I'm going to try and find the bot pack version instead. Let's see if that's
angry. Yeah, Kamele's just very mad. Just very upset that it no longer has its title.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I think we discussed this at some point. Are there going to be 2 different roles in the Discord for like hard-coded and machine learning champion? Or
I think what we're going to do is just make one role called
like
champion. Current champions, yeah.
Yeah,
and then there is also a champion alumni role that it's a bit more hidden. People don't see it, but it's also there.
Yeah.
And
that's actually crazy that I'm gonna be a champion technically, because it's weird because last year I almost felt like I was, because other than Element and Necto, RedBot did the best, and those were the like 2 machine learning bots. So I kept saying, you know, it was the best hard-coded bot in that tournament. And so, but the thing is, though, they weren't separated at that point. It wasn't such a big difference. Now that they're separated, I can say, yeah, I won one of the sides of the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. The 2 machine learning bots, Element and Nexto, really just came in out of nowhere, completely obliterated all of our hard-coded bots.
Yeah,
so,
and as good as King looks and is flashy and, you know, played well today, I mean, King is just, it's probably like maybe high plat, low diamond. It's looks better than that mechanically, but it's just like when you actually like play against it. I mean, I'm GC, so like obviously I can beat it pretty easily. But
I mean, and then I mean, Platts, as far as I know, Platts also likes to go for flashy stuff.
Did you test King against Necto?
I did not.
In 2v2,
oh.
I think I did at some point, but I'm pretty sure it was losing, but I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think it would do pretty poorly if it were to, because someone suggested put it in the bottom of the ML bracket.
Well, there isn't really a slot open, but it's a good idea otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, maybe after the bracket's over, we can do a bonus match of like the worst ML bot versus King, and if King beats it, maybe we could test out against some better ones. But I'm pretty sure it would not. It would not do that well. To be fair, yeah, sorry.
I did have the show match earlier this week with Bumblebee versus, I think it's Vulcan, who's the lowest one.
Who won?
But
I didn't see that.
And that was Vulcan who won.
Okay.
It was a somewhat even match, but in the end, Vulcan came out as a clear winner.
To be fair, Vulcan was the lowest of the top 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still not the lowest of the ML bots that were in the bubble sort.
Exactly. And I think you would win against some of the lower machine learning bots, because just as there's good machine learning bots, there are also the bad machine learning bots. It's just a bigger range they're playing on.
Yeah. It's also like 2s is just way different than 1s. I feel like the more... Wow, Kamel almost own goal there. Hey, let's go.
I think we found a better version.
Correct. Yeah, this is definitely a better version. That was almost a crazy redirect into the goal by Kamel. Then King got up for that. Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, and
machine learning.
2s.
2s, yeah.
2s, I feel like it's a lot more comparable to see hard-coded bots versus machine learning bots, because I feel like machine learning's bots' best attribute is just being able to think on its feet. Hard-coded bots, you have to kind of, like, you build mechanics that are really good for most situations, but like weird situations, you can get scenarios where it's just like, it's just a little off, and the turning radius, I don't know what to do, and it just fucking misses.
Yeah.
Like, you can just end up with little off-case scenarios. And of course, when it gets like a perfect scenario, it could bang it top right, and like people will look at that and be like, oh my god, it's champion or whatever. But it's like, that's the specific scenario that mechanic was made for. Machine learning bots, maybe not like always as optimal, but I mean, Nexto, but like they are more flexible, you know? They can be
definitely.
They can understand a wider variety of situations.
Yeah, it's really just, we can only write so many if statements. We can't account for every
Exactly,
possible situation. And it just translates better into this bunch of numbers that the machine learning bots have. So yeah, these weird situations, it's always where the bots have a huge problem just in general.
And so 2s helps because I feel like just the play style of 2s, you end up with less of those weird situations. You end up with more scenarios where the bot from the back rotates forward and gets a banging shot across, which is kind of what hard-coded is good for. And also just having that second teammate leaves it to where if a machine learning bot, you know, gets it past one because of, you know, some weird situation or something, the other hard-coded bot's back and hopefully can defend it. But yeah, I mean, still, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't get very far.
The skill ceiling is I'm not even sure if the ceiling, but it's just there's another element to twos as well, because there's a teammate you can work together with, and you can plan and you can pass, position yourself. It's there's a lot more room in that dimension. When once it's just don't make an error, always play safe.
Exactly, yeah. Like with twos, you still don't want to end up with code where you end up overcommitting too much, but it's a lot more like, I mean, RedBot, for example, in twos, it's amazing how well it does considering it just completely ball chases. I think it's just the fact that it has two of itself, even though most of the time they're on top of each other. Just the times that they do get separated, it means when they are being aggressive, when they're both there, there's like double the likelihood they're gonna get to the ball first.
Yeah. They're so good at getting to the ball that the opponent doesn't even touch it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just two RedBots are better than one, you know? Its strategy in ones is also kind of the same thing. Just get to the ball first before the opponent does. Because it doesn't know how to shadow, it doesn't know how to do like any of that. It just goes and hopes it beats the bot to the ball every time. Which of course, with a bot like Necto or something, it's a lot easier. Oh wow, that was almost an insane shot by Camille. Necto, I remember, I mean, back at last year's RLBot Championship, Necto versus RedBot, that match is still ingrained in my mind. Necto, I think, beat RedBot 7-1, if I remember correctly. And I mean, RedBot got third.
Okay, I don't remember it, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, and it was like basically just, I mean, it wasn't kickoffs, but like either RedBot would win kickoff, give it away immediately, and Necto would just score, or Necto would get it off kickoff and score because it got possession. Because RedBot, it gives away possession immediately, and it tries to go for the next touch, but Necto's just will get there first and will get it around because it's just good at getting, you know, the little flicks and the little touches that the hardcore bots don't understand.
It gets the ball moving down to the other half immediately and just puts it in.
Yeah.
But it looks like King wins against Camille, the bot pack version. 5-0.
Yeah. I feel like Camille should have gotten at least one goal in here.
It was very close at times. Like here at the end.
There were a couple ones on the post.
But still a convincing victory. So let's try to just go straight into the next bet, which with self-driving car. So that was the champion before Camille, a champion that we had for 2 years because it was just so good and so far ahead. For those people suggesting Vulcan and such in the chat, I think we should wait with the machine learning bots for tomorrow, just so we don't sit here too long. So this will be the last one for tonight.
Here's my question: if SDC was made in the era that we have now, with because I was, you know, came here when Camille was dominating, and Camille's big thing was the double jumps, and I got double jumps down pretty early on with my bots. And then, you know, basically, I mean, ultimately, still the aerial code is mostly just the, you know, chips, you know, math. So if SEC was made in that time, when all of that was, like, hot stuff and people were doing it all the time, I wonder if SDC would be like... I wonder how good SDC would be. Because SDC has got such good base ground mechanics.
Yeah.
Kind of like Bumblebee. Just like very good, except Bumblebee does have the aerials as well, but Bumblebee doesn't have double jumps. It's like that. I wonder, and SDC also has wall play, which Bumblebee does not have. Like if it had double jumps and aerials, I don't know. I think it could be very good. I mean, it is very good, but
yeah, I think self-driving car is meant to be a one spot, even though it does work in two. But in ones you don't want as many aerials, so that's why it has been down prioritized. Even though it was developed just around that same age, I think self-driving car was reaching a point where it was starting to get to its optimal level. So adding aerials would just have completely messed it up, and you would have to start over with the strategy basically, because that's what
that
happens
makes
when you
sense.
add a new mechanic. So he just
makes
went for optimizing the ground play, the ones strategies that it's good at, the recoveries, the rotations in ones.
SEC
So-
is still like a goat when it comes to like recoveries and
Yeah.
stuff. Like the way it flips off of the wall and stuff like that. I wonder why King brought it to the corner there. It was kind of an open net. That's actually one thing I think I realized about this version of King is that it has a variable for detecting if there's an open net, and it just always doesn't think there's an open net, which made the strategy code a bit bad. But it, you know, it ended up working out anyways. Because even if you don't know if it's an open net, it still tries to shoot most of the time.
Yeah, so it does make a huge difference.
Okay.
You just got past
That's
both SDCs here with a simple flick.
Yeah. Looks like a quick King own goal. To be fair, I don't think King was trying to save that. I think King was trying to go back. I don't think it was trying to hit the ball there. I think the ball got in the way.
What?
It's
Wait,
the
what
ball's
match
fault.
are you watching? That was King scoring.
Oh shit. Oh, I was watching the Twitch stream. I'm so good. I'm so good. Okay. Yeah, I was commentating on the last goal SDC had.
Oh no, yeah. You just got another one with a flick over both SDCs at the same time.
Oh damn. Man, I wish I saw that.
I think the SDCs
Was it a
might
good
have been...
flick?
No, not really.
Ah.
But it was
That's
high enough that it got above both of them. And they didn't jump. I think they were kind of stuck on top of each other. And so...
This version of King does have dribbles and flicks, although it's interesting. The flicks are a bit worse in this version than prior versions. Prior versions, what would actually happen is it would be using the dribble code, and then it would switch to a jump shot code while it was dribbling.
Oh.
And I don't know what was going on with that jump shot code, but it got really good flicks.
Okay.
And then my actual flick code was just worse. I don't know why. I don't know. I should have just copied the jump shot code, I guess, or just kept it the way it was.
Yeah, it's funny how it sometimes be like that, where it's just the variables just line up and it happens to do an amazing thing.
I know, it's so funny how a lot of times I feel like hard-coded bots, they're good, but not for the reasons like you think. And when you do things that you think would make it better,
it just
it
becomes
actually
worse.
messes up that stuff, the stuff that made it good. It's so funny.
It's also another thing that just happens naturally is one of the oh that was a nice flick. Did you see this one?
I'm looking at the replay. Okay, yeah, there we go.
And it's a backflip.
Hey, see that? Yeah, that was a good one. It actually does like its backflip ones, which is interesting. I don't know why. I'm not exactly sure why. It should flick from the center, the center of the car towards the ball, which, I mean, normally the ball's on the front half of your car, so it should be flipping forward. But the backflip flicks are sometimes exactly what you want. I mean, it's right underneath the crossbar. If it had gotten a good front flip flick, it may not have gone that high, and it may have gone above the crossbar. It's a little bit more unpredictable. These backflip flicks, sometimes you just get it perfect.
Yeah, I guess they only happen when it's just right on the edge anyway, so it will not give it the I mean, it'll still be a flick forwards, but with more height than usual.
Yeah. Nice play here. It's actually crazy how close this match is. SDC is just so solid. It's a low-scoring game. I feel like SDC just keeps it from SDC is pretty good at defending. SEC is pretty good at like keeping it downfield. Like SEC is just always in good positions. Oh,
yeah.
But a little bit patient, giving King the opportunity to flick it again. That's a good flick. Oh.
This time he saves it though.
King, desperately wanting to put that in. Oh, that's unfortunate.
King though, still getting the win, it seems. 3-1.
3-1, pretty close.
Not only did you win the tournament, you have also proven that even though the other champions weren't there, you can also beat those.
Yeah. I would have loved to see SDC in this in the bubble sort. I wonder if it would have beaten. It probably would have beaten Buddy for the top 8. But I mean, this proves that at least it wouldn't have won.
Yeah, and that's nice. So that means it wasn't a mistake to not include it, even though What is the Phone did ask us to just auto-submit to all tournaments.
Yeah.
I decided to not do it in this case because the focus were very much to update the bots, and he hasn't been here for 2 years.
that's
It's
true.
not even the champion anymore. So it was like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah,
The focus being on updating means SCC, whatever matches it plays against other people with a 1st to 4 score line is just set in stone, which can leave people just like
exactly.
stuck below it or above it. I get that. That makes sense.
But
Well, that was a great first day of the great hard-coded elimination finals. I don't know what to call it.
yeah, this is the finals, I call it.
The finals of the hard-coded bracket. That was great. I really liked that. I mean, obviously I did. I won, but
Obviously. Yeah, you came out on
Obviously.
top, so I don't think there's anyone more happy than you.
yeah.
But yeah, that was a really good one. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
I don't think we'll do any more show matches. We will just round it off here. For those people who are still in chat, I'm reminded that we are going to do this again tomorrow, but with machine learning, and it's probably going to be even more
A lot
crazy.
higher level.
It's gonna be higher level, that's for sure. Maybe we'll see some crazy upsets as well. Maybe. I don't imagine it. How can it be more crazy than this?
I
Well,
don't know.
we'll figure it out,
How
I
many-
guess.
How many updates did you get? Did you get a lot of updates?
I got Vulcan, Ragnarok, Ribble, and Nexto. And
Nexto? Or Necto? Nexto?
Nexto.
Nexto got an update? Wow.
I think they're just coming in the same folder, but I don't know if it's actually different.
Wow. I would love to see if it was.
Ask Rolf, yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of magic they put in Nexto.
Oh, he's
Plus,
winking in
so-
chat. There might be a difference.
Oh my god. Yo, that would be fun to see. I'm excited now.
Oh, I think
Nexto
it's
may be better than Seer. Seer now update. I mean, Seer doesn't need to update.
Yeah.
Seer was top of the.
See, it looked like it was pretty good already. A bit of a shame that we didn't get an update, but who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's still strong enough because it's just so strong.
I mean, Nexto is the one that needs to update in that scenario because Nexto needs to make up some ground, or else risk getting dethroned. Even though it's kind of sad that Nexto never got to get, like, I mean, Necto, Rolf got the championship role on behalf of Necto.
Yeah.
But Nexto technically didn't ever hold the champion title, which is kind of crazy considering how long and how revolutionary Nexto was. Well, I mean, it still might. I'm speaking like as if it's already ended. Seer might lose to Nexto, but if Seer does win, that would mean Nexto never got the opportunity to hold the championship title, which is a little bit sad.
I mean, in my
Nexto's
eyes,
toxic.
in my eyes, Nexto has the championship title because it's Nexto, probably same
That's true.
project. It's just a new version in some sense, just like we have Stardust 2.0. It's very much the same, just the next
I mean, Nexto
version.
came around not even that long after the RLBot Championship 2022 when Necto won, right?
Yeah, it was
only
just right
a few
after.
months after that. Yeah.
So
I mean,
it really feels like
if
it's the same bot.
Yeah, if the championship had only happened a month or two later, it would have been a very different tournament. I mean, no, it wouldn't have been. It would have been the same results, but Nexto would have. It would have been a close Necto versus Element final like it was. It would have been a absolute destruction of a finale.
Yeah. Which would probably have been more boring. So it was good that it happened as it happened. And yeah, with
That's
that,
true.
I think we shall round it off. Congratulations, and see you all tomorrow. Bye.
See you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Oh, and let me rate somebody. I almost forgot. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, where's my screen? There we go.
Bye everyone, see you tomorrow.